Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Well, yesterday I said this was the most embarrassing year of Jerry Jones's Dallas Cowboys life. I've got to amend that. Saying sorry to Jerry today. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl, he actually did it. The gambler. Went in.
I'll cut out of here.
Made a trade. And listen, Quinnen Williams is a defensive tackle for the New York Jets. We are in New York, so we're pretty familiar with this game. He's good. He is a very good defensive tackle. He's been on some terrible teams. Really bad. But he has been on some good defenses, Pearl. I like what the Cowboys did yesterday. Does it mean they're making the playoffs this year? Probably not. They're pretty far in the hole at 3-5-1. But Quinnen Williams is about to be 26 years old, prime of his career, right? Or just about there. In the prime of his career, we know defensive tackles can have long careers. He's already shown that he's as far from a bust. I mean, the guy has made Pro Bowls. This was a smart move for the future for the Cowboys, the immediate future, next year, the year after, while you're still all in with Dak Prescott.
Seriously, the gambler.
Yeah,
we're still even calling him that. This trade it's the second worst. I mean, thank God for Dallas that the Colts exist and they made that idiotic trade. This would be the focal point of the NFL world. How bad this trade was. Because
what do you like about it?
They're not making the playoffs this year. So why are they giving up such a massive future haul, a 2026 second round pick, which is good because it's a weak draft, and then 2027 first round pick is going to be amazing. And the Cowboys might be really bad that year. So that's going to be a very, very valuable pick. I can't believe for a defensive tackle. Let's talk positions. Maybe an edge rusher. You can squint. Obviously a quarterback, maybe a super high-end wide receiver, but a defensive tackle who has all of a sudden forgotten how to get to the quarterback. Have you noticed that about Quinnen Williams? He used to be great at that. Now he's not good at it. This is one of the worst deals I've seen in a long time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Quinnen Williams was 27. He's about to be 28. I got him and Sauce Gardner's ages mixed up.
Right.
But so apologies. How are you supposed to get sacks when you're on a team that basically you're in a 2-score hole before you can blink?
Well, he's
playing on a terrible team.
He's not even getting pressures. He's doing nothing.
Well,
anymore.
He's being double teamed because he's one of the only things left on this crappy Jets team.
But he has produced. Well, I guess the defense was good, but the team's been crappy for a long time, and he's produced before. He's getting older. I mean, that's
I disagree with you. I don't think
28?
the 27 and 28. Look at some of the great defensive tackles, pass rushers who are in the league right now.
Okay.
These guys are not.
Jalen Carter's the best, and he's young.
Okay, well, he's an anomaly, right? Like he hit right away. This is a tough position to develop defensive tackle, high bust rate with defensive tackles. And I think that you're looking at like Dexter Lawrence, and you're looking at...
How old is Dexter Lawrence?
He's in his mid to late 20s. And these guys play until they're in their 30s. I mean,
by the way,
the Myles Garrett's, the TJ Watts, these guys are still getting paid in their 30s.
Defensive ends.
Yeah, defensive ends.
And also, by the way, what has Dexter Lawrence won?
Well, again, nothing, which is why he asked out of New York. He didn't want to be a part of another rebuild. Apparently, according to Connor Rogers, the local guy here in New York, said he wanted to go to Dallas. So he's going to be super motivated. But this is, if you look at it as just for this year, I think you're missing what the potential magic could be here, because this is a guy who's still under contract for 2 years after this year.
Oh, I know, at a pretty good rate, $24 million.
$24 million for next year, and then no guaranteed money for the year after. So you might have to throw him a little bit of money.
Do you think he's going to sit there at $24 million?
Well, you know what? I think for this season, obviously, of course, you're going to get him. I think for next year, yeah, I do. And then you'll figure out what happens after that. Listen, they stiff-armed Micah Parsons on a contract deals because they had to get George Pickens done, they had to get CeeDee Lamb done and Dak Prescott. I don't think that you have to necessarily pay him right away. You might throw him a little extra guaranteed money in 2027 just to keep him happy. But this is, to me, like, if you just think about it for more than this year, Quinnen Williams was a number 3 overall pick. He is a dude. Like, he, instead of a lottery ticket of a draft pick, which I know is all exciting, and we'll talk about it from the Jets side, and we'll talk about the Colts yesterday, which was an exciting trade deadline in the NFL. But, like, this is what Jerry wants. This is what he needed. A guy who, according to PFF, is one of the best run stoppers in the league. And we watched that with our own eyes, even though he's been on some bad teams.
Yeah, so let's be realistic. So do you think they're making the playoffs this year? They're 3-5-1.
I don't think so.
So, okay, so this year's out. So we're really talking about this was a trade
Yeah.
for next year.
I think, and the year after, where you still have Dak Prescott really
Okay.
expensive. And, listen, you are going to get some guys healthier on the defense, you think, to come back this year. So then you sort of gel this group, use the last part of the season, the last, whatever, we have a half left of the season, to maybe start to gel this group together. And then you hope that you hit the ground running in 2026 because you love Dak Prescott, right? You think they would
Dak's
not even
great.
entertain quarterback. So you got your quarterback already wrapped up for 2 years, and they don't want to rebuild the Cowboys. That's clear.
They chased a mistake, possibly, with Micah Parsons, not trading him when they did. They chased a mistake by not signing him in March at $40 million, which was the going rate for the highest defensive end.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that was on Parsons or if it was on the Cowboys. Now they're chasing that mistake by signing a guy who's going to get too old to help them at that salary. It's not going to work out. I'm telling you.
Chris Jones is 31, dude.
Yeah, Chris Jones is falling apart,
But
by the
Quinn
way.
Williams is about to be 28. He's
Okay.
not 31 yet.
But you're talking about the 29 and 30 years
Yeah.
where he's at the top of the market, and those could have been 1 second-round pick, 1 first-round pick. This is not going to go well. I'm telling you right now, Jerry is just digging a deeper hole. I know he likes to dig holes to look for oil. He's digging holes on his personnel
Glory hole.
side right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, is it going to go well? I don't know if it's going to go well, but I don't
that
mind the logic. Like,
Is that really? Oh, so
Yes.
you're in a bleep those picks mood today then.
I'm in a bleep those picks
But
mood
bleep
for
those
this
picks if
team.
you're the Rams and you have Matthew Stafford and you think you have Aaron Donald on the other side of the ball. Dallas shouldn't be in a bleep those picks mode. They should be in a rebuild mode. They should be collecting first round picks, not giving them away.
You're talking about the tooth fairy right now. I mean, you're talking about
Is that
things that
fantasy
just
thinking?
don't exist. Oh, sorry if anyone's in the car with the kids. You know what I'm saying? You're talking your wishes, hopes and wishes, right? You want the Dallas Cowboys to rebuild, but look at the roster. They're not in a rebuild mode, and they're not going to be. You can't do the process. I see you got your Iverson shirt on today, and you're all about everything Philadelphia. There's no process going on. You're not tanking to the top here. This is a team that actually Jerry is he doesn't do it perfectly, and it doesn't happen all the time, but this is an all-in move. Now, I will agree with you. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys yesterday trade for Quinnen Williams. It's a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. It's going to be the better of either Dallas or the Packers pick that they got for Micah Parsons. Now, I'll
That's
give you
what
this.
put me over the edge. The better of the two picks. That put me over the edge. But go
Here's
ahead.
the thing. Both teams we expect to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So the better of is still going to likely be in the 20s.
Wait, why do you expect the Cowboys to be good?
Well, they have Quinnen Williams now, and I think their defense is going to get better. And we're talking about for 2027.
I know.
Right. So I think in 2026 they will be a good team. I would on paper if people are healthy, if Dak's healthy, why not? You're going to have CeeDee Lamb. You might franchise George Pickens. Your offensive line is going to be.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, then just like you might as well light your locker room on fire the second you franchise tag George Pickens. But that's besides the point. Did you think the Cowboys were going to be good this year?
Not really.
And but you have optimism for next year.
Well, if guys are coming back healthy on the defense and your offense is good, I know that they were not good against Arizona, but they are a good offense. And if Dak is healthy, then yeah, they should be able to be good. Like their offensive line is young and cheap.
How's their coach?
TBD.
Okay.
At least they run the ball now.
Forget Dallas. Forget Jerry Jones. Let me just ask you this question.
Yeah.
A generic team is 3-5-1, and they are the biggest buyers in the entire trade deadline. Well, second to Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indy.
Like that, just on its surface, like, wait, what is happening here? Why would a 3-5-1 team do a trade deadline deal? Why wouldn't they wait till the offseason and figure things out? It just makes no sense.
Well,
and the reason they did it is because they're chasing the Micah Parsons mistake.
Okay. It can look a little like panicky, but you also have to understand you had a team in the New York Jets that hung a for sale sign out yesterday.
Right.
And obviously the Colts came in and traded the 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. And then you have to realize, all right, what is on this carcass of a franchise that I can come in and that I can try to get? And by the way, Jerry apparently had his eye on Quinnen Williams, and the Jets talked in the offseason about possibly swapping for Micah Parsons, which is funny because I'm curious what EJ would think about this as a Jets fan. Micah Parsons would have been miserable on this team. I mean, Justin Fields stinks, and this team is going absolutely nowhere, and everyone wants off the Titanic of the Jets. Now, yesterday actually was a good day for New York. We'll get to that in a little bit because now they have an arsenal stockpiled. But I think where Dallas had to strike while the iron's hot is Miami clearly didn't want to do full-on sell because they traded Jalen Phillips to your Eagles, but they kept Jalen Waddle, and but the Jets did anything you wanted from the Jets. It was like a clearance sale yesterday. Now everything wasn't cheap, but you got the only talented people on the roster left.
Well, there was two signs out. There was one, the Jets, everything's for sale.
Yeah,
definitely. The other one was Jerry basically saying, "Hey, come take advantage of me." I feel like the NFL. I think there are 31 GMs who saw that deal, like, "Whoa, maybe we can trade somebody to Jerry." Because Jerry came out and said, my timeline is nigh. I better make a move now. So I'm sure Howie Roseman, the Eagles GM, is like, oh my God, Jerry's giving away the farm. Let's get in there and try and trade him something. I feel like the NFL definitely was a sign to the NFL, hey, we can be taken advantage of. We're the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I did not see it the same way. I don't think this was a bad deal. Let's get to Jerry Jones, though. 105.3 The Fan in Dallas is where he does his weekly interview. He said his age does give greater urgency to moves he makes for the Cowboys.
Let me just add this up for logic for you. I don't have time, personally, to have a bad time. It's not on my schedule. And so I have a natural urgency because of my age. And so my tomorrows, the immediate tomorrow, are a big thing to me.
Well, that was morbid.
Yeah, sheesh. I mean, he is 83, so he's entitled to think however he wants to think. This made me wonder, is he sick?
No, I
don't know.
Maybe he's just 83. This made me wonder.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed. I get it. You have a different perspective at 83 than you do, at 53. But
is there any NFL fan who didn't want their GM to get on the horn with Jerry immediately? I mean, that's saying we're not. I'm ready to make a not smart move. That's what I heard right there.
Well, that it was a little YOLO. And a little bit of I don't have I don't have time to have a bad time. I kind of like that of all the Jerryisms. That could be a fun philosophy. But I ask you, it's not like he got a bad player. He got a really great top 5 defensive tackle in this league, who's top 1 in certain metrics, who's still in his prime, whose salary isn't so insane, and he had to give up a second and a first for it. When you don't have these other glaring needs like quarterback. I get it. Listen, I love killing Jerry Jones. We're on him all the time. The dude can't breathe or sneeze without us saying, ha ha, Jerry, you stink. And I can find fault with this.
Listen, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought this was okay. This is a fine. I don't even think it's a risk. Quinnen Williams is not a risk. He's not high risk, high reward. It's reward. The guy has proven that he panned out. And how many busts do we see at this defensive tackle position, Pearl? It's hard. Guys can't stay in shape. They can't make weight.
Defensive tackle? I don't know. Mason Graham looks like a baller.
You're cherry picking.
I'm just saying, and Walter Nolan, if all of a sudden is Jalen Carter. I don't know. Is it that hard to get a defensive tackle? Is that a high bust position? I don't think of it like that at all. I would go young and in the draft. They messed up with Mozzie Smith, but that was a 27th pick.
Okay, but that's about where they pick in the 20s. And Mozzie Smith got sent to the Jets also. They're not picking the 20s anymore. First of all, what are they picking this year? This year has gone particularly bad.
Yeah.
It has gone very bad. I don't know. And I just see some of these guys, and I see how effective they are still in their late 30s. I'm looking at a list of the best defensive tackles right now. Right? And so you're looking at Dexter Lawrence is 27. Chris Jones is 31. Jalen Carter, very young, 24. I'll give you that. Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans is 27. Quinnen Williams is 27, about to be 28. Leonard Williams is 31.
That's funny.
Matabuke is hurt right now. He's 27. DeForest Buckner's 30. Vita Vea is 30. These guys are still awesome.
Yeah, those guys are all old and expensive. We're talking about the future. I mean, I was just listening to someone say how the Colts have to prepare already for life without DeForest Buckner. And Leonard Williams is good, but that's because there's something magical going on out there in Seattle. I just think that he's old and expensive. You could have gotten that guy for less. You could get versions of that guy for less. And it's defensive tackle too. Again, it's not TJ Watt. I just don't think he's going to have that kind of impact.
They need to stop the run, so they do need guys on the inside. But here's the thing: you're talking about the future, guys. The future in the NFL to me is now 2 to 3 years. That's kind of what it is, unless you're talking quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, guys you're going to have for a decade. It's kind of it's a week-to-week league sometimes, and it's kind of year to year. And for me, Quinnen Williams, to say he's about to be 29 years old, So now he's old and expensive when they want him for 2 more years. That doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think he's going to ask for more money, but we already talked about that.
Yeah. One
thing about this trade is, first of all, I don't think any other GM is doing this. Every team that has traded away a first-round pick for a player, it's getting to be a disastrous route. The Atlanta Falcons traded their next year's first for James Pierce, a pass rusher, and they're not making the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns... the Jags traded to the Cleveland Browns for Travis Hunter, a first-round pick, and they're not making the playoffs probably.
Yeah, he's on IR.
And even if they do, it has nothing to do with Travis Hunter, who's had zero impact and now is hurt. So, yeah, generally, it's a bad road to go down, trading a first-round pick for now. It's been very now. A lot of those teams get those picks and blow those picks. I'll give you that because they're bad franchises. The Jets being the number one team to do that, where they collect. But generally, you give away a first round pick for a player, usually the player doesn't work out. Usually the first round pick is more valuable to me, and I don't think anybody except Jerry makes this move. I think most GMs would have been more cautious about protecting those assets because the Cowboys had a lot of future assets, and now they don't.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Perloff and I obviously seeing this very differently. I'm giving kudos, as Joe Benigno would say, kudos to kudos.
Well, somebody check in on that guy.
Kudos to the Dallas Cowboys. It's just a funny thing, funny way to say it. I liked it. I like this move because I'm living in I'm trying to put myself in Jerry's head, in Jerry's world, in Jerry's world, which is rebuild's not an option.
Who is this guy, Bad Freaking Bunny?
Then why did you trade Michael Parsons? Jerry, I have you here. As long as I have you here, why'd you do that move?
I mean, God only knows.
Are you asking me?
It's because he lied down on a trading table.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, because he lied down on a trading table. I have no idea. That thing was maybe just doomed from the start.
Are you kidding me?
888-710-4ISN. I don't have all the answers.
I'm trying to get you to do a Southern accent here.
No.
You're in Jerry's head. Come on, give us some. Can someone pour her a finger of Johnny Walker Blue? And can we get serious here?
I don't know his name.
Today's a good day to have a good day. I can't do Jerry. I'm not good at impressions like you are.
Michael Parsons. Oh yeah,
Michael
great.
Parsons.
All right. I like the trade. Perloff says no. Now, we will get to the Colts, who we thought were going to be the real headliners here. Yo, what is going on in Indy? Okay, we'll get to that. 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. The Colts, you can't be more all-in.
Yeah.
They didn't just push chips to the middle of the table like they blasted him out of a T-shirt gun.
As my kids would say, they don't like quarterback Daniel Jones. They love quarterback Daniel Jones because they are like, we got our guy. Let's go win the AFC.
This is all about Daniel Jones. I'll agree with you there. We'll get into that. So much to get to. And then the Jets side of it also, we'll let EJ give his little Jets take about, is this one finally going to work? Hold for that.
Oh, yeah. Jets are going to the Super Bowl in about a year and a half.
You mean a decade and a half. Anyway, yesterday actually was a good day for the Jets, but we'll get into that. 888-710-4ISN. But all the good days for the Jets happen off of a football field. None of the good days actually happen like on a Sunday or a Thursday or like a Monday night.
That is cruel, but accurate.
888-710-4ISN. Okay. Maggie and Perloff show. Cowboy fans, let's go. Did Jerry give you reason to believe yesterday? M&P.
Listen, thank you.
Okay, I think that Jerry and the Cowboys are losers, but I'll tell you where you can be winners, Maggie. That's called transition.
Yeah,
Prize Picks.
So good.
Prize Picks is the best way to enjoy sports. And if you have a take and you're right, you can win big here. You can keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's so simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big. I'm very curious. It's a funny night with sports. There's a lot of NBA going on. I need to hear your strategy. That's like the first thing we usually talk about, but I was late because I couldn't find a parking spot, so I don't know what you're doing on Prize Picks.
All right. Well, I'm still working out my Prize Picks right now, but I got to tell you, Maction yesterday, very good to me. I'm feeling awesome about what's going on with Prize Picks, and you can be too. It's our obsession. Again, we talk about it every day. And every morning, do you win on Prize Picks? How's your streak going on Prize Picks? At one point, Perloff had like 12 days in a row going.
We're really talking about it more when we win. At least I talk about it more when I win. But last night I should have followed your lead. That's why I was asking what you're doing today.
I'm not going to gatekeep it. I won't. I got lots of things percolating because Prize Picks has just been awesome to me lately. Is Prize Picks available to you? Well, probably, because it's there for you in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Don't have to worry about your transactions. They're all fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks has been awesome for our show, and it can be awesome for you, too. Just download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code M&P. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is so good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Debating the Cowboys' move to start to trade a second-round pick in 2026 and a first-round pick in 2027 for Jets defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. Do you like the trade? Go to @MaggieandPearl on X and vote. I do not like it from the Dallas perspective at all. Maggie gets it. She's in a bleep those picks mode today.
Totally. And I realize it's not for this season, right?
Yeah.
I get that. It's about for next year and the year after when you're still paying Dak Prescott. But you can go vote, though, or you call us up, 888-710-4ISN. Tyrone's in Dallas. Tyrone, Jerry did something. Do you love it or hate it?
First of all, I want to say good morning to y'all. It's a pleasure to be on with y'all.
Good morning.
Second of all, man, y'all played the perfect song. Don't stop me now. About this trade, I want to say whoop-dee-doo. Because I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to hit you with an old Southern phrase. If was a fifth, all of us would be drunk this morning. It's not going to help us this year or next year because have you seen them linebackers, corners, and safety? Not good at all. Trash. Perloff, I want to say to you're wrong. Respectfully, you're wrong.
About what?
Jerry didn't make this trade to make up for the Michael Parsons trade. Jerry made this trade because he's afraid that he lost the fan base. Monday night game, the Boo Birds came out, and he's scared to death that he can't sell the fan base on the crap that he's been selling us on. So this trade, Quinnen Williams is cool. What's the name? We can't fall in love with the names on the back of the jersey. We got to fall in love with the production. And I'm kind of with you, Perloff. Is the production really matching what he was? Is he getting a little longer in the tooth? We'll have to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you. I really don't believe. I think we got him a little bit too late. But we'll see. But I don't think it's going to help this year or next year. They have to rebuild, especially in the secondary and the linebacker.
Tyrone, thank you for the call.
Yeah.
I love that saying, if ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk. Yeah. I also like the saying, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, every day would be Christmas. But I do think that, respectfully, it is not for this year. Right. I do think it is for the future. And you are getting guys back, in theory, who are hurt. Now, maybe Trayvon Diggs is gone forever. That relationship seems like it's gone.
His legs seem gone.
But you know what? Yeah. I almost feel better about finding guys for the linebackers and safety position who can come in right away.
And corner.
And corner, fine, add it. It's linebacker, safety, and corner who can come in right away and can actually give you production as rookies or second-year guys. More than defensive tackles. I just think they take a little bit longer. And you can tell me Jalen Carter, okay, he came out of the
Mason Graham
and
came Walter out of the Nolan womb on Monday night. That was incredible.
Okay, well, some of the other all-time guys, like, do you remember Dexter Lawrence's rookie year?
Well, do you remember Aaron Donald? He came in the league ready to terrorize everybody. Not that he's going to be Aaron Donald. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I totally agree with that. But can we talk about Tyrone's point about Jerry and the fan base? Because I think that is something. Yes, was this move a cosmetic move? Because I get it. You know, he talked in the offseason, their training camps in Oxnard, California, and it has been emptying out like crazy. Was this about the fan base? That's not a bad theory.
Okay, that's fine. I think Jerry kind of thinks, and this is not a disrespect to Cowboy fans, he knows he's got you. And
does he?
I think he does. I think he does.
I don't know. I feel like the interest is waning.
You want to know why? Because every fan base, I think, feels like they have their teams. You know, even the worst ones, I think they realize that the NFL is a rocket ship at all times. There is no ceiling to this. The owners get so rich Now, maybe Jerry has a vanity thing that maybe other owners may not have if he's getting booed or what have you. But if you want to make a splash, do you do it with a defensive tackle? Like George Pickens, that's a guy people know he's on your fantasy teams. Like Quinnen Williams is a really good defensive tackle and played at a big-time program at Alabama, so maybe people understand, but big flashy moves is not defensive tackles. If you're really trying to save the fan base.
I hear you, but I think they had to. I think those first-round picks were burning a hole in his pocket, and he realized he had to make a move. I do think the fan base is waning. I mean, this is a fan base that a lot of people turned on Jerry when he got there because they love Tom Landry. They are a bit fickle. And I'm going by training camp. It does seem like the Cowboy fan base is losing some interest. I mean, if you're in Dallas, please call us. Not that they're always going to be interested in the Cowboys, but I feel like the frustration is now real. It does feel like, especially with stuff Jerry is saying about win now, when they're not winning now. I mean, they're going to end the season most likely not in the playoffs. That's going to feel really bad.
So let's also talk about the other big blockbuster trade from yesterday. You had two blockbusters. Quinnen Williams is a blockbuster, and then you had Sauce Gardner, the cornerback for the Jets, that was traded to the Indianapolis Colts for 2 first-round picks. And now listen, this was an obvious need for Indianapolis for as out of nowhere as this season has been, where they're 7-2. That cornerback spot in their secondary has been a little leaky, and you have Travarius Ward who had to go on IR. Do you guys remember that story where he got a concussion in the pregame warmups? It's been terrible, but he eventually, you think, will be back.
Yep.
And Sauce Gardner can pair very nicely and give Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, give him a really amazing piece and chess piece to play with. To me, and I think you and I are actually in lockstep on this, we're very apart on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, but I think you and I are in lockstep a little bit with the Colts, which is this to me has less to do with Sauce and has everything to do with Daniel Jones. You just traded away 2 first-round picks, your next 2, 2026 and 2027. That means you believe you've got your guy after 9 games. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Daniel Jones with his back up against the wall, and I'm not saying he's like lazy or something like that when he's after he's got his money, but it's just a very different experience from what I've noticed. Like he was in a do or die season in New York and ended up having his best year. They keep Daniel Jones and jettison Saquon Barkley. Terrible decision. And now he's in a do or die situation in Indianapolis. It's a good situation, but you have to believe now Daniel Jones is going to win you a Super Bowl. What Colts fan on planet Earth? You had Peyton Manning, you had Andrew Luck. You understand what awesome quarterback play is about. Is there a Colts fan on planet Earth that thinks that Daniel Jones is now going to be worth whatever contract they're going to have to give him and that he's the guy getting you to a Super Bowl? I'm sorry, I cannot get there.
You don't think the Colts could? Yeah, I think the Colts could win a Super Bowl.
With Daniel Jones?
Yeah. I think.
What evidence do we possibly have that Daniel Jones is an awesome playoff quarterback?
I think you and I might view this differently. I think there are about 15 quarterbacks who could win a Super Bowl. And I got to do an analogy here. If you pull Jalen Hurts and you looked at his numbers off the Eagles, would you say that quarterback can win a Super Bowl?
Can Daniel Jones tush push? You guys have a cheat code.
They have Shane Steichen, and Shane Steichen made Jalen Hurts one of the most effective quarterbacks and the most effective offense. I think Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen is a great marriage. That's why I'm not worried about him not playing well with his contract. Even in this game, I would say they were terrible on Sunday. Daniel Jones made some throws. He's always had arm talent. We've always known that. His problem has always been processing. He's always He's always just sort of held on the ball a little too long. And I think Shane Steichen fixed that. And would you have said Sam Darnold could have a follow-up year from last year where Sam Darnold broke up? No, most people were like, I don't know. That was a one-time thing with Kevin O'Connell, the coach in Minnesota. Then he goes to Seattle. He's having the same kind of year. Yes, I have faith that these retreads will keep it going. Baker Mayfield, same thing. Yes, Daniel Jones is good enough to get the Colts to a Super Bowl. I still hate the trade, by the way. 2 first rounds for Sauce Gardner. I mean, is he Darrelle Revis combined with Deion Sanders? I did not get that move. But Daniel Jones is fine. This offense can be good enough. The key for them, and I think the most important thing, is they got to get home field. If they have to go to Buffalo, they're a dome team in the most dome sense. That's bad. So maybe this move, this is really tricky because the Colts are all in this year, right?
Yeah.
So
this is it.
But the problem is Buffalo and New England have these crazy easy schedules. It's going to be really hard for the Colts to wrestle away home field. But I think they were saying we need home field. We can take advantage of a very down AFC.
They looked at the AFC, and I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. This is the perfect time to strike. C.J. Stroud, unfortunately, dealing with concussion now. Houston's been off all year long.
Yeah.
Obviously, what's going on, Jacksonville is kind of a work in progress. The defense is really good. Offense may be coming along. And obviously, Tennessee is maybe one of the worst teams in the NFL again this year. So you're obviously looking at the division, okay. Then you're looking at the rest of the AFC. Do we even know that the Baltimore Ravens are making the playoffs? If the playoffs started today, the Chiefs would be out. Like, there's the Bills definitely look vulnerable with their defense not being awesome. They added nobody yesterday at the trade deadline. So I can, and New England is a little inexperienced. So I can see where, they feel like now's the time. But this was extreme.
Yeah, this was
an extreme move. And again, I just don't think that Daniel Jones is winning a Super Bowl. And I don't think Sam Darnold's winning a Super Bowl, quite frankly. So I'm not as in on the retreads as you might be, because here's the thing. Daniel Jones is a great story when it's a 1-year, $14 million deal and you're getting this kind of production. Just wait till it's $40 million a year. You might not love him as much.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's some magic. It feels like you're a quarterback, you leave either of the two New York teams, you're just all of a sudden awesome somewhere else. I mean, look at the playoff standings. There are a lot of former New York quarterbacks that are in the play. I mean, we're going to definitely see Aaron Rodgers, it looks like. We're definitely going to see Sam Darnold. He's
not a former New York quarterback.
The Jets.
Yeah, he spent 18 years in Green Bay and about 7 months
saying,
in
like,
New York.
You leave that building, and all of a sudden, I've actually have science on this. You leave the Jets facility, your passer rating automatically goes up 20%. It's a fact as old as time. Geno Smith, you go down the list.
Well, it took Geno a decade to get another starting job. It wasn't like, from A to B.
Yeah, but
Same
generally,
with Darnold.
the rule applies. Favre left the Jets building, and his rating went up 30 points in about 2 days.
Thankfully he pulled his pants up before he walked out.
I hear a lot of Jets over there. It's not just New York football.
Well, I know. I want
to
lump in Daniel Jones. He's kind of a Jets quarterback. I just think that he was on a bad team, so now he's on a good team. There's a lot of evidence that these guys can keep it going. I'm not. Daniel Jones is fine. He's going to be good in that offense as long as he stays healthy.
Fine is no longer the bar.
You know what influenced me the most was like, EJ was not high on Sauce Gardner, and I'm like, 2 first rounds for Sauce Gardner, who is not head and shoulders above every other quarterback in the league. It's not like Sauce Gardner is a generational core, like number one Darrelle Revis type. To me, that was what really. It's not even about Daniel Jones. I'm like, Sauce Gardner, really? I think everyone was like 2 first rounders for him. I heard a lot of that amongst, like, one friend texted me, like, is this trade for real?
Yeah, I'll let EJ get in here. Jets fans are so done with Sauce Gardner.
Right,
That
exactly.
doesn't mean, but it's just like Quinnen Williams. You're like, well, his production has tailed off. Well, there might be a couple explanations for that.
Yeah, but production's trailed off. 2 first rounders for a guy whose production it's got to be a no-brainer.
No, I'm saying for Quinnen Williams, a first rounder, second rounder, and Sauce Gardner, like maybe he's still so young, he is talented, and maybe there's a way where you feel like he was a former All-Pro, but maybe he hasn't even hit his ceiling yet. And with Lou Anarumo and a little stability, maybe he can actually turn into what you hope. Listen, they paid him. The Jets did. His contract doesn't kick in for another 2 years, but they gave him an extension of $120 million. I mean, they just did that. So clearly, he's highly thought of inside NFL buildings. Just the fans do not like Sauce Gardner anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's metrics that show that he's played better than maybe what the eye test has shown.
Yeah.
But the reality is, and I said this yesterday, if you're a cornerback who isn't a guy who's taking away half the field and doesn't also take the ball away, I think to pay that guy at top dollar, you better have a great team. And if the Jets, if they had Aaron Rodgers, he was playing great, and the rest of the defensive players, if that was the team that you were paying Sauce Gardner to play for, that's one thing. I think to pay him that for a team that's rebuilding, that's going nowhere, doesn't make sense. He doesn't cause turnovers. He's not good at getting interceptions. And he's okay in man-to-man, but like he's not like a guy like Darrelle Revis. And I know Jet fans want to always bring Revis, but he's not Darrelle Revis. He doesn't just take half the field away where you can't even throw to that guy. That's not who he is. He's a good to very good cornerback. But to give up 2 first-round picks, man, I'm calling this the Jones-Irsay stimulus package for the Jets because they just helped us out big time. Shout out to the Jones family. Shout out to the Irsays.
EJ, if you were GM, would you have given him away for 1 first-rounder?
Yeah.
And a second.
Yeah, if I could have got a first and a third, I would have traded him.
And you got the money off the book. The future money is gone now too.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, look, A.D. Mitchell has shown knuckleheaded tendencies, but the Jets have 0 wide receivers. So hey, he runs a 4.3. He's tall. Go out there and run around. Let's see what you can do. I'm fine with giving him a shot.
Well, you are getting A.D. Mitchell, the young receiver, but I worry.
Sauce Gardner, the Buffalo Wild Wings spokesperson?
I worry a little bit about A.D. Mitchell in New York, but that's another thing.
I worried about Sauce Gardner. He seemed like the one he wanted to date Ice Spice and date other influencers more than improve his game.
Get in line.
That shows some common sense in some people's minds.
I'm sorry, line behind you, Manny.
That's right.
888-710-4ISN.
Tough choice.
888-710-4476. Bogues is here. Can you hold on 1 second? We'll take a quick break. We'll get the headlines for you because this trade deadline really lived up to the billing. I actually wish a little bit more had happened. A couple more teams out there, maybe, I don't know, with glaring holes, needs.
Oh, you're not
Super Bowl contenders who,
like
maybe
a team maybe in Western New York?
Maybe a team in Western New York who has some obvious needs. But according to some reporters yesterday, the Jets were not trading in the AFC East. So the Bills couldn't even pick at the carcass of the Jets. And I don't think Miami was actually really thinking about trading Jalen Waddle.
My issues are worse than yours as an Eagles fan. You know that Howie wanted to take advantage of Jerry Jones so badly, and Jerry would not pick up his phone.
Get out of here, Super Bowl reigning champs.
You
don't get to
like,
complain about anything ever.
I mean, you could see he was chomping at the bit to take advantage of a bad franchise and just could not get in there.
888-710-4ISN. Kansas City also didn't do anything. 888-710-4476. So we got a lot to get into. And some headlines next. Asking you on X. Love the trade for the Cowboys? Hate the trade for the Cowboys. Quinnen Williams, a second-round pick, a first-round pick in 2027, and Mazzie Smith says goodbye to Dallas. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Perloff Show, reacting to a big trade deadline. Got a question out here for you about the Cowboys. A little all in from Jer. How about that? Yesterday I said this was his most embarrassing year, but I think he kind of saved himself with this Quinn and Williams trade. I like it for maybe not this year, but for the future. And then obviously the Colts, new owner Carly Ursay-Gordon, right? Jim Irsay's, one of his daughters, is down on the sidelines with the earpiece in, right? She wants to hear all the coaches and how people are talking to each other. She is involved. You think Jerry got kind of fleeced yesterday? I think she got kind of fleeced yesterday. And, Chris Ballard, the GM, is not really known for taking these massive swings like this.
Yeah.
And I think that credit to Darren Muji, the Jets GM, I think he saw that there was a team that probably, didn't think they'd be 7-2, didn't think the AFC would be breaking like this, and I think saw a new owner that they kind of took advantage of, Pearl.
My understanding is the Colts called them, by the way. The Colts it felt like the Colts were the aggressive ones in here. Muji was just a recipient. I don't know if that's true, but whatever. So the Colts were itching. They were like Jerry. They were itching to make a move.
They were, but EJ's a Jets fan who said we would have made this for a first and a third, and they got 2 firsts.
I would have done it for maybe even a second and a third. I don't know.
The guy's expensive, too. It's crazy.
He is young.
He's young, but 2 first-round picks, and you're going to take out $120 million eventually. This year, it's only $10 million cap hit. This year is manageable.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get Daniel Jones now with a big contract. Let's get to Bogusch. He's got the latest and greatest headlines for us. Very busy day.
Guys, your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks, the hard-hitting football action even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. Use code PRIMETIME.
What about Junior?
And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. You guys can talk all you want about the Cowboys, the Colts, the Jets. How about the Chargers opening up the vault to land O-lineman Trevor Penning from the Saints? LA's blocking is falling apart. They need help. They get a guy who was on his 3rd different position along the offensive line in New Orleans because of various deficiencies. But maybe now Justin Herbert can survive the entirety of the rest of the season. Meanwhile, we got our first CFP rankings last night. Unbeaten Ohio State is first, not surprisingly. Then fellow unbeatens Indiana and Texas A&M. There is not a group of 5 school in the top 25, but the bracket needs one of them, so Memphis gets pulled in. They would face Georgia in the 5-12 game in round 1.
Good luck.
You'd also have Notre Dame at BYU, Oregon at Texas Tech, and Virginia at Ole Miss, UVA, the highest-ranked ACC team at number 14.
Wait, Bogues, you mean my Memphis Tigers? Andrew Perloff's favorite team?
I thought the Houston Cougars were your favorite team.
Oh, I am a Cougars fan, but they lost.
Okay.
Connor Wegman looked pretty good in the loss. Ryan Silverfield is my new spirit animal. The
course
coach of
he
Memphis is the greatest in-game and post-game interview subject you will ever see in your life. The show has to embrace Memphis.
What?
Yes, the Memphis Tigers, baby. Their uniforms are cool. They had Penny Hardaway back in the day. Let's go, Memphis.
Penny's been there for a while.
Isn't he the basketball coach?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Well,
Or
I
is he
don't count
fired a
that.
third time for
I don't
another
count that.
violation?
Wait, is he still the coach? Because something's going on there.
I
right?
think he's on
He's
like
still
double
there.
secret probation because he keeps getting violations on top of violations.
It's not secret.
Yeah, the Memphis Tigers. I think that's because let's face it. We have last year, Maggie. I think you picked Boise State in preseason last year, and they went to the group of 12. So we have to root for one small school or mid-major.
Paxton Lynch still the quarterback?
Cowboys. Remember how bad the Cowboys and Jerry Watt and Paxton Lynch, and they missed him, and then they drafted Dak Prescott in the 4th round. Anyway, yeah, Memphis Tigers. I'm all about them. Why not? Come on, Bogues.
Why not?
I mean, do I have any geographical ties to Memphis? No.
You have no ties to any of the things that you like today that you will not like tomorrow.
Memphis loses one game. Perloff's going to be off that bandwagon so fast.
Well, yeah, they're probably out if they lose one game. So, yeah, of course. You guys got a better school for me? Because we got to go for one mid-major.
No, well, they're in a Power 4.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Act like it.
Shockingly.
I mean, Big Ten.
Yeah, not good.
They're technically a Power 4. But
How about, we'll talk more about the top 25 in the college football
Fordham
playoff
Rams.
ranking. Notre Dame. What are we doing?
Be in Notre Dame.
I know.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting a team for me to jump on the bandwagon. I'm like, that one's pretty full. I don't think.
So there is a line you will cross.
No, considering you loved the Dodgers recently, I don't know if there is a bandwagon that can be too full for you.
I don't know. If I'm going to pick that kind of school, give me Ohio State. I can't jump on Notre Dame.
They just, I don't know how they're going to justify the pretzel that they are going to put themselves into if somehow Louisville is 4 spots below Notre Dame when Notre Dame lost to Miami and Louisville beat Miami. But sure, let's do this.
Hey, how about Miami beat Notre Dame? And they're 8 spots behind them. That's great.
Yeah, but you just lost 2 games. You lost to unranked SMU. I agree with you, EJ. I thought it was way crazy. But yeah, you definitely beat them.
I can't wait.
But that win doesn't even look as good now for Notre Dame because now Miami's lost to
winning, the games don't matter.
They do not
we
matter.
learned that last year. We're learning it this year. The games don't actually matter. The results don't actually matter. It just
It's all
matters
about the brand.
how the brands feel and how the committee feels on that week.
Well, but I mean,
Hello? You play to win the game.
Well, everyone thinks it's going to be Notre Dame. Notre Dame's in. Forget it. Texas with 3 losses. That is going to be the one that's going to crack me up. Watch. It will happen. Sorry, Bogues, what were you saying?
No, I was going to say, like, the games do matter. Like, Miami's is behind Notre Dame because they've lost 2 games. Like, the games do matter.
But the head-to-head.
Notre Dame lost 2 games, and then they played a game against each other, and Miami beat them.
Yeah, but again, the games still do matter. Not in the way that we want them to sometimes, but the games do matter. It's just we don't understand why they matter to those people in the room.
No, and then they always just default and they're like, well, the eye test, we feel like Notre Dame's a better team on tape. It's like, well, then what are you supposed to say to that?
Right.
And if you're trying to ask who's better, Notre Dame or Miami, you have to, at some point, you have to judge what they did when they played against each other. To me, that clearly was not a judgment if you have them 8 spots. I'm not here to even prop up Miami because almost all the other teams I'm fine with them being ahead of them. Most of those teams have 1 loss. But a team that you beat in a one-on-one spot, a game, by the way, Miami was up double digits most of the game. If you're saying that team is 8 spots ahead of them, it seems crazy to me.
No, it's on the soapbox.
This is on the Hurricanes, though. If you had scheduled the service academies in Purdue more, then you'd be in here.
Seriously. Everyone
knows that. And by the way, the committee changes, but they have no interest in strength of schedule. It's just not a thing for them.
What did they say yesterday? We don't care about scheduling philosophy. I think somebody said that.
Yeah, so get ready for September to just suck for college football from
Yeah.
now to the end of time.
There's also the argument, too, okay, they're ahead now, but if these other 3 teams win out, they will jump them, these, hypothetical, future. So, don't be upset today that they're in because they're not safely in, but that's not helpful either.
No, and this is all for the TV show of it, right? They've got to leave moves to kind of keep shocking us. But this guy, Mac Rhodes, who's the AD
I
at
want to
Baylor,
talk about him.
Why is he winking at the camera so much?
No.
You look guilty, man.
I feel like there's
You did 2 winks.
There's sort of an Abbott Costello. Now they went with a weird skinny-looking guy this year. I'd love to know the philosophy.
Last year was a fat guy. This year it's a skinny guy. That's amazing. They're just casting this thing. It's just a TV show. That's all it is. Oh, boy.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining.
Try to sing. I like doing it.
Two.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Here comes the drop. Here it comes.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now.
Oh, such a good, refreshing song. Oh,
That was good.
I want to dance.
1 minute remaining.
It's a disgrace on so many levels.
You like that, big boy?
No! Billy the Big Mouth Bass.
30 seconds remaining.
Might on.
Sweetness, saltiness, buttery, bready.
15 seconds.
It's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And
Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
What a day. Trade deadline did not disappoint in the NFL. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Pearl and I not agreeing today on the future of the Dallas Cowboys. When I say future, I mean like the next 2 or 3 years. I don't know how much farther you can look down the road if you're a team like the Cowboys. You're not starting with a, Cam Ward year one. You're not starting with, Patrick Mahomes in the beginning of a 10-year, $500 million deal. You got Dak Prescott for like 3-4 more years. 4 is maybe a stretch. I would say 3 years. He's really expensive. So to make a deal like yesterday, a trade for Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle for the Jets, it's a second-round pick in 2026, a first-round pick in 2027. Feels steep, Pearl.
Yeah.
But this is an all-in team. Whether you like it or not, or I like it, or Cowboys fans like it,
It's
it
not
is an all-in team. It is.
They traded Micah Parsons away for a lesser player in Quinnen Williams. That's not all in. That's kind of all. That's mostly out.
No, the fact that they have Dak, CeeDee Lamb, the trade for George Pickens, they did pay Trayvon Diggs, they did pay Deron Bland. Like, they just didn't want to. I don't know what happened with Micah Parsons. We could do the end of time. What the hell happened with Micah Parsons? Was it personal? Was it money getting mad? Was it egos? Or was it actually fit? And on any given day, and whatever way the wind is blowing, is the answer you'll get from Jerry Jones. One day it's because Mike was laying on a training table. The other is because he can't stop the run. You're never going to get a straight answer from Jerry because there's not a good answer. But they didn't want to pay Micah Parsons, what do you get, $47 million? And instead, they're going to pay Quinnen Williams a lot less, and he actually does address the need.
You guys watched The Dark Knight, right?
Yes.
So that's one movie I figured Maggie probably did watch.
I
He's
did
like
watch that one.
Jerry Jones is like the Joker, where he keeps saying, know how I got these scars? And every story is a different story. That is Jerry Jones describing Micah Parsons in the trade. Every day, he's going to give you a different reason why Micah Parsons is not a Cowboy. And it's got to be driving Cowboys fans crazy to hear this guy.
Yeah, you're not getting this straight answer.
There's
Thank you.
There's another phenomenon. After Micah left, Jerry's like, well, people are now calling me cheap. So I'm going to pay a bunch of guys. And he paid Jake Ferguson. He paid Tyler Smith. And Jake Ferguson has been bad. I don't know if you guys have, he has made so many mistakes this year. I don't even understand he was a good player. He is a boneheaded player now. He's got a lot to prove. I read that Tyler Smith's really struggled this year, offensive lineman. They spent a ton of money and it hasn't even worked out. That's the thing. Even if you trust this, Maggie, do you trust Jerry Jones as a team builder around these stars? Because I don't. I understand what you're saying. Yes,
you're backing me into a corner here. Do I trust Jerry Jones?
Because it's not just about these moves. It's like you're talking about next year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really painful if they don't make the playoffs this year. There's going to be a lot of people at the end of the year saying, "What did we do all that for?" If we do not make the playoffs, and at 3-5-1, it's a long shot.
Yeah, I think the Cowboy fans are smarter than this. I think they understand that this year may be a wash because the defense is so bad and got injured. You're addressing that now. And this is actually about next year. I do think they understand that. Actually, let's go to a Cowboy fan. 888-710-4ISN. JT's in Atlanta. JT, you realize this is for next year, right?
Yeah, first off, don't do me like that, Maggie. I am not a Cowboy fan.
You're
man.
an Eagle
you
fan.
Know that,
I forgot. I forgot.
That's right. But this is the thing. Perloff is right in the fact that this is, you use the metaphor you want, putting lipstick on a pig, taking your dented car to the get it detailed and waxing it. Like it's got.
Oh, JT, we lost you. Can't do it. Lipstick on a pig. I get what he's saying, right? You are chasing something. But Pearl, when you're paying your quarterback this much, I don't mind a chase. I don't mind it, especially because it's not like Quinnen Williams is a bust of a player. The Colts went all in 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, and Sauce has some All-Pros and Pro Bowls and stuff like that. But you ask any Jets fan, they would have driven Sauce Gardner to the airport. Not the same with Quinnen Williams. Not the same. Now,
come on! But every Jets fan would do this deal though, because
of course,
because the timeline for the Jets.
They're 3 years away from being 3 years away.
I can't believe I'm not blowing you out in this poll. But it's EJ's fault. The poll was, did you like the Cowboys trade for Quinnen Williams? What does that mean?
That's exactly what you told me to put.
No, but
Literally
you have to
word for
word it.
word.
Do you like it for the Cowboys? Like, yeah, we liked it. It was entertaining. I like the trade. Yeah.
All you are your words.
No, we got to reword that to make it clear. Did you like it for Dallas?
All right. Well, I don't think we have an edit feature.
Out of here. Yes, we do.
No, I don't think we do on the Maggie and Perloff account.
Man. This is going to be fit. Do you like it? Yeah. Who doesn't like a big trade deadline deal?
Well, by the way, you're still
Rest
winning
in
this
peace
poll.
to all my ops.
This should be 80-20.
You're winning 51-49. We just had election night yesterday. That's not a terrible margin.
ESPN called this the worst deal in a decade, and it's
What do they know?
51-49. What?
They called this or the Sauce Gardner trade?
ESPN Seth Walder, their analytic guy, just tore the Cowboys a new one.
But I don't tear him a new one. Like, you're that offended by this?
Well, it's first of all, the Jets are sneaky brilliant because this draft does not look great. Just look at a mock draft, you'll be like, wait, these are first-round picks? 2027 looks like it is loaded, and they got the higher of the 2 first-round picks. To me, the fact that they got the higher of the Cowboys' 2 picks, why didn't Jerry say take the second first-round pick? Why couldn't he at least talk him down?
Well, because Jerry was in the mood to make a deal. and you know, good for Darren Muji, who you guys know I met Darren Muji recently at the Rutgers-Oregon game.
Did you suggest this trade at the time?
Super impressive guy. I thought he was there maybe to scout Dante Moore, which might actually end up being true with the
100%.
Oregon quarterback because it might not be for 2026. It might be for 2027. Actually, we'll talk about that and the Jets side of this and everything. Now with Judy Batista, who joins us, columnist, NFL.com, NFL Network. Love watching Judy on the Insiders and everything she does for the NFL Network. Good morning, Judy. How you doing?
Good morning, you guys. How are you?
We're doing well. Okay, let's actually start with the Jets side of this. Then we'll get to the Cowboys and to the Colts. Judy, do you think that the Jets, with this haul of draft picks now, 2026, they're going to have 2 first-round picks. 2027, they're going to have 3 first-round picks. Do you think they have to take a quarterback in the 2026 draft, or could they actually punt on that decision and wait till 2027?
That's a good question. I think that it's entirely possible they do not draft a quarterback in 2026. You know, last year, everybody thought the 2026 quarterback class was going to be the big one, the blockbuster one, so people thought you should wait for that. And it hasn't totally panned out that way so far this college season. We'll see. You know, things will change in the next few months, and certainly in the run-up to the draft, players always emerge and start shooting up the draft board. But so far, it has not been the sort of class where you say, this is the quarterback class. If you need a quarterback, you got to get into this group. And so I think it's entirely possible that they wait for 2027, where they have 3 first-round picks. So either way, these next 2 draft years, they have so much maneuverability because of the picks they have now. And let's face it, they don't have to use all of the draft picks, right? I mean, they could use them in trades. It just gives them so much flexibility as they, try to rebuild the roster. The thing I keep going back to is, it's great to have all these picks. Like, the NFL just loves draft capital. You've got to be able to hit on those picks, though, and you've got to be able to basically draft players like Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, right? All pro caliber players when you have picks that high. So that's the challenge. They did a great job getting the ammunition. Now they've got to use the ammunition correctly.
Judy, what would you say the chatter around the league is? Let's take the Cowboys-Jets trade for Quinnen Williams. Who do people view as the winner and the loser in that trade to start with?
Well, I think everybody knew that Quinnen Williams was less than happy with the situation at the Jets. I mean, you remember when they let Aaron Rodgers go early last offseason that he tweeted, like, I guess it's another rebuilding year, something like that. I guess another rebuilding year for me. So you knew right there he wasn't happy. Aaron Glenn talked to him, and he's obviously continued. He was a great leader on that team, very well respected in the locker room. Like, I'm sure the players are unhappy to see him go, although I think happy to see both of those guys go to places where they probably have a better chance to contend sooner than the Jets will contend. I think most people thought that the Jets got a good return for Quinnen Williams because, again, to get a first-round pick plus for a guy that you know is unhappy in the situation, I think that's a pretty good return. And certainly the Sauce Gardner deal was, just blew the roof off yesterday. I mean, that was the stunner of them all. And you get 2 first-round picks for a cornerback, which is a great return. And now, listen, they were both cornerstone pieces for that defense, so it took some guts and it took big deals to make the Jets move them. They weren't looking to move them, but I think the Jets got great value there.
We're talking with Judy Battista. She's a columnist for NFL.com, NFL Network Insiders, award-winning journalist and reporter. And Judy, okay, so let's go to the Colts side of this. Steep price for Sauce Gardner because it's the 2 first-round picks, and he already got paid. So it's not going to kick in right away, but eventually that $120 million contract he signed, that's not nothing. Obviously, this signals that the Colts are all in and they're thinking Super Bowl this year. Do you and other people around the league think that they are actual Super Bowl contenders?
Well, I mean, they've got the best record in the AFC. Listen, for the first few weeks of the season when they were rolling and the offense was red hot, I was like, okay, really, all right, are they going to come back down to earth? But I mean, we're halfway through the season now, and they've only got 2 losses, and the offense is red hot. So I certainly think they're contenders, especially in a season where there is no dominant team in the AFC, right? The traditional superpowers in the AFC have stumbled a little bit. Now, the Bills have looked better. They looked better the other day, but they stumbled. The Ravens obviously have a big hole to dig out of. Now, maybe with Lamar back and healthy, they will get out of it, but I mean, they've got a big hole to get out of. And the Chiefs look vulnerable. So the teams that you always look at are just not as dominant as they usually are. And so that means it's going to be a bit of a scramble. The Colts can do it as much as anybody. I mean, if Daniel Jones keeps playing like he has been playing, I'm not talking about last week, which was obviously a blip, but if they keep playing that way, if Jonathan Taylor stays healthy and keeps running, sure, they can contend. Why not? I mean, it appears to be the kind of year where anybody who, as long as you get into the playoffs, if you're healthy at the right time, you can make a run.
So do you think that they're going to have a huge contract for Daniel Jones moving forward? And when would that happen? And what do you think of that deal? Would you trust in Daniel Jones as a franchise quarterback for, say, 5 years to 10 years in Indianapolis?
Well, first, let's go back. I think certainly the fact that you give up 2 first-round picks now indicates that you're sticking with your quarterback because you're not saving those picks to have to draft a quarterback. So, yes, I think they fully intend to extend Daniel Jones. The contract will be interesting. Is it going to be many years? Will it be a shorter-term contract? I think, first of all, I think the way the rest of the season plays out will tell us plenty about that, and we'll see how he does the rest of the way. Again, if he keeps playing the way he has been playing, sure, they want to lock him up, and probably for a few years. He's still really young. Shane Steichen seems to have unlocked something in him, confidence. He certainly seems more settled almost than he ever did in New York. Maybe that's the environment. Maybe that's just the players around him. But he just seems calmer, more in control. Certainly having Jonathan Taylor, be the league's leading rusher next to him, I'm sure helps. I'm curious to see how long the extension will be, if it's going to be, 3 years, or if it'll be, if they want to lock them up for the long term.
Judy Battista is joining us, NFL.com, NFL Network, does a fantastic job. I thought the other kind of bigger trade, the return wasn't so big, but the impact could be, which is Rashid Shaheed, Judy, going to Seattle to pair with Jackson Smith and Jigba and give Sam Darnold another weapon. What do you see as the impact for Shaheed, and do you now see Seattle as a Super Bowl contender?
Well, if you didn't see Seattle as a Super Bowl contender the other day after the way they looked on national television, you do now. Like, they are I sort of feel like because they're in the Pacific Northwest, they're like, sort of an under-the-radar team. They've got a really good defense, and Sam Darnold is playing lights out. And I think getting another wide receiver, getting Rashid Shaheed, tells you how sold they are on Sam Darnold. They're now putting weapons around him. I mean, what Shaheed can do is take the top off the defense, right? He can stretch the field. That should give Jackson Smith and Jig, but even more room to operate. I mean, that should actually enhance things for the guy, right? I think he's on track for a 2,000-yard receiving season, which is crazy. And Sam Darnold has been playing great. So, yes, I mean, I think they were looking like possibly the NFC's best team even before they did this deal. This was, I think, this is one of everybody's favorite deals. When you talk to people, they're like, that's a good match.
All right, Judy, I'm asking this question for Maggie in part. There's a couple AFC contenders who did not make a move yesterday. The Chiefs and the Bills jumped to mind. Were you surprised that they weren't more aggressive at the trade deadline?
Yes, and I would add the Ravens to that. Like, there were a few teams that did not make moves. Listen, I think the trade deadline always comes down to who's really available and how much are you willing to give up for them, right? I mean, the deals we saw, the ones that we've all been talking about now, were pretty big. You had to give up an awful lot to get those players. And, if those teams look and say, you know what, we're okay with what we got. We can coach up our guys. We can figure it out. We don't want to give up high round draft picks. I understand that, especially in the cases of those franchises who, historically are really well-run franchises and know what they're doing. Yes, they are all close. Again, the Ravens have to dig out of a hole, but they certainly have the ability to do it. Those teams are all close. And again, I think they are well-run franchises. And so I think they looked at the landscape and said, you know what, like, if the Dolphins are not going to move on from Waddle, if they're not going to move him, like, we're just not going to give up, an army, an avalanche of picks here to get him. We're not going to do that.
Judy Batista. Judy, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it. Love watching you on The Insiders. Love reading your stuff on NFL.com. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you.
I hope so. Good to talk to you guys. Thanks.
You too, Judy. Thank you, Judy Batista. Yeah, listen, why I was so surprised that Buffalo didn't make a move, okay? The Chiefs are in a different category. Why I was surprised Buffalo to make a move is because they've made moves the last 2 years at the trade deadline. They got Rasul Douglas 2 years ago, and they got Amari Cooper last year. And, like, these are...
I remember Rasul Douglas. Did Amari Cooper do anything?
Is actually involved in one of the great plays in Bills history where he takes the ball and pitches it back to Josh Allen in the snow.
Oh, my God, that was Amari Cooper.
And Allen scores the touchdown. Now, obviously, they don't win the Super Bowl, so that highlight kind of goes into the dustbin.
Send him into the Ring of Honor.
Honestly, it goes in the Josh Allen highlight film, but not, like, anywhere else.
In 10 years, if you show me a picture of Amari Cooper in a Bills uniform, I'm going to be like, what?
Yeah. I remember it well.
That's pretty cool.
But anyway, that's why I was surprised, because they've done this before. They'll take a third-round pick and try to go get somebody. But to be honest, I think it was the Jets were obviously the big sellers, because we forgot your team got Michael Carter II from the Jets earlier in the week. That one was not even like a under the gun yesterday at 4 o'clock Eastern. Everyone was for sale from the Jets, and the Jets made it clear they were not trading in the AFC East. And by the way, I totally get that. And I respect the hell out of that, because I hate it when my team trades with another team in division. Like, you think I like watching, I didn't love watching Stephon Diggs go to Houston, even though they got a second-round pick for him. And now I hate watching him in the Patriots. And,
why is that?
These boogeymen come back to haunt you.
Well, another truth is it's hard to get back 4, back 7 help. Like, everyone's like, we need another cornerback or something. Guess what is not out there at the trade deadline?
Unless
cheap
you want to give up
2
first-round picks.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why Sauce Gardner cost so much. I am a little surprised the Chiefs didn't get a running back, because Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco are slow.
Didn't you guys get Tank Bigsby? Who do you have?
The Chiefs.
No, I know, but the Eagles did, right? Like, there were guys
that
available.
was early in the season. They got Tank Bigsby, ironically, because of his kickoff return ability. Then he proceeded to fumble a kickoff, but that's besides the point.
Right.
And then he filled it for Saquon and looked good. But
was there any other running backs that got moved
Brees
yesterday?
Hall was supposed to be the guy to the Chiefs.
He wanted out so bad, EJ. Brees Hall, and every fantasy owner of Brees Hall also wanted him out.
Oh, yeah.
But they decided to hang on to him. I have no idea why.
They said that I credit Darren Muji. They were going to move guys for the price that they wanted. They were not going to get fleeced. So they got those hauls for those other guys. They wanted a third-round pick for Brees Hall. They drafted him in the second round. I understand wanting a third-round pick.
Catch the fever, guys.
But if the report's true, the Chiefs offered a 4th. You could stretch that maybe because he's not going to do. They're not going to keep him, are they?
I don't think they're going to keep him, but I think when it comes to offensive players, the Jets have to have a whole different dynamic of who they're trading. Defensive guys, the defense is no use having a good defense if you can't score at all.
Right.
So those guys, get them out of here. Offensive players who may be playing with a rookie quarterback next year, hold until you get what you want and see what this offseason looks like. Unless you get a great deal. Again, a third-round pick, a second, that's a great deal for Breece Hall. Fourth is like, okay, whatever. Especially when you don't have Braylon Allen for basically the rest of the year, too. So I was okay with them keeping Breece. He's not going to help them win any more games than they would have won without him. And he may be in the plans if they figure out this draft this year with a quarterback and maybe another player in the first round.
So here's the thing, though, and you're right. Now the Jets have A.D. Mitchell and they've got John Mechie, right? Didn't they get him back? So here's the thing, though. It was the first question I asked Judy Batista. Jets now have 2 first-round picks for 2026 and 3 first-round picks in 2027. I mean, this is an insane amount of first-round picks. Yeah. Do they have to go quarterback this year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing, too, is a lot of young.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they have to either.
You don't need that many draft picks. Like, everybody's going to be young at the same time. That's a bit of a disaster.
Well, the Jets have re-signed like 4 of their rookies in the last 30 years. So for them, it's not that big of a deal.
Right, but you can't have a locker room full of 23-year-olds. But that's not really the point. I heard a rumor that Dante Moore now is coming out, but I have no idea. Kuiper is the one who was saying that he's not coming out. But that being said, you watch him live, Rutgers, or he doesn't look that big to me on TV.
He looks small.
Yeah, so that's a big deal.
Small like Bryce Young's
The NFL
small, but
has been clueless.
But he's I'll give it this though. He is like he doesn't come like you're watching him. He doesn't look that big.
Yeah.
But he also is like a pocket passer basically. So it's not like he's out there scrambling where you feel like he's going to get his head taken off. I think they had one design run for him against Rutgers when I happened to be watching.
But he's mobile though.
He is, but he moves around in the pocket. But he's not out there like. He's not Anthony Richardson.
He's not a running quarterback.
He's not a running quarterback at all. So maybe you feel like, all right, if you have a good enough offensive line, you can keep him protected.
Well, I mean, listen, all the quarterback prospects, so none of them are like, that's the thing about when there's no there's no Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence, no brainer, because Ty Simpson's not huge. Ty Simpson, he's like a number 1 overall pick, and then Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza. So you're right, the Jets could wait. But I was going to ask you,
Manning.
Who's the quarterback next year? Is it Justin Fields again?
He signed for 2 years.
They got to play a quarterback.
Do they?
Go Wildcat. Ronnie Brown this thing.
We're trying to tank anywhere.
I didn't say sign a quarterback. They have to play. Doesn't someone have to take the snap?
I don't know.
The center can't just go QB sneak.
Is it a Joe Johnson, New York, where you're just going to take a knee
from the 10?
Take a knee in the second quarter?
Yikes. Okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I don't ever miss WFAN and hosting in New York locally, except for that day. That day, I was I wish I was in New York that day.
That is when
he ran 2 QB sneaks from the 5.
You will randomly bring
favorite plays in the history of the NFL.
Oh
Maggie will bring that up on a Tuesday afternoon out of nowhere. Do you remember when Joe Judge did that? Nothing tickled you more as a football fan.
I know, because I thought he was a fraud from the moment he got here, and I just ended up being right.
He's a Philly guy. I got it back.
I will quit. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, coming up. You're welcome to weigh in on the trade deadline. We have the new college football playoff rankings, and of course, Notre Dame is getting the Notre Dame treatment already. It's just the first rankings, and it's already Notre Dame gets the red carpet all the way to the college football playoff.
Yeah, could they slow play it a little bit?
And Texas on the outside looking in, so we've got all that for you. Plus, he's got to be stopped, guys. There's somebody who's just so extra right now. It's too much for me. And he's maybe sullying his legacy along the way. I'll tell you what we mean next. It's Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining.
Studio right now. Mraz on a summer Friday is in studio. I think it's time to play Gloria Karaoke.
30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds.
How do you start Friday?
I got a hockey game tomorrow.
What do you mean?
I'm supposed to play a hockey game. I can't rip anything.
Seconds.
Ice hockey?
No, Dick, I'm at a charity game tomorrow.
So, floor hockey.
Yeah. But this, dude, I am trying so hard to hide my feelings, but I'm in break.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. So I watched a lot of Tom Brady this weekend. I can't remember what game was he on. Whatever game he was on. I have a critique. He's talking way too much now. Like someone gave him the memo, just flood us with analysis. He's better than he was. But anyway, that is not the Tom Brady story today.
No.
He's doing fine as an analyst.
Weirdly, Tom
Lions,
Brady.
Vikings, right, yeah.
Yeah, he lost his voice. Meanwhile, Kevin Burkhardt's the one who's been doing the World Series till 1 o'clock in the morning every night, and Tom Rinaldi. But Brady was the one who had no voice. But that's not the point.
Yeah. But yeah, Tom Brady, he's doing fine as an analyst. It's all the other stuff where I'm starting to have questions, Maggie.
Tom, stop being so weird.
It's too late. He's down the road.
Apparently, if you have two nickels to rub together, you can get Tom Brady to be a spokesperson for your weirdo company. Tom Brady would go to the opening of an envelope right now. He is a trading card mogul, I guess, with Fanatics.
Got one crisp $5 bill.
He got a $5 bill. Brady will be here in 10 minutes. It's like, how much money did this dude actually leave on the table in New England that he feels like he has to do all of this stuff? And let us tell you what we mean, because you might not be following this as closely as the rest of us. Tom Brady, totally fine taking the Saudi Arabia money. We learned that the other week when he was in Saudi Arabia with all those other football players. Okay, fine. You want to say, Maggie, that's the world today? Okay, fine. Here's the latest thing. So we can do Fox broadcaster, part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, maybe shadow running the team, maybe not. Trading cards, Fanatics Fest, where we were within arm's length of this guy. It felt like he was greeting people at the door. Remember, didn't Joe Louis turn into a casino greeter later in his life? It felt like that. Now the weirdest thing ever. Tom Brady is now a spokesperson for a biotech company. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to give them free press. It's a venture capital backed biotech startup that clones pets.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tom Brady got his dog cloned.
Yeah, see, I'm so surprised you're focusing on the commercial aspect of Tom Brady. It's the weird science stuff that I think is so odd.
He's going to clone
Dude
himself.
got his dog cloned.
Yeah, this is a company that is aiming to, quote unquote, fix extinction. They basically want to do Jurassic Park. How many of these Jurassic Park movies have to end with people getting eaten and society crumbling? Do we have to know that this stuff shouldn't work?
I don't know. They've got 7 different Jurassic Park movies, so I guess you got to keep telling them.
I mean, but the question isn't, can they?
They were so busy.
Jeff Goldblum over there.
You can do the line. Please do the Jeff Goldblum line. I don't even.
It's something like they were so busy wondering if they could. They failed to stop to see if they should. This is the problem. This company said in 2024 that it's going to use cloning and gene editing to birth 3 dire wolf pups.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that story.
The dire wolf is extinct, guys.
Not in Game of Thrones.
That's where it should stay. Listen, I hate climate change and the fact that, animals are getting extinct. I'm not for that. This is not a pro-extinction. But the dire wolf, that one isn't because a couple icebergs melted, guys. Sometimes you shouldn't bring these things back.
Hard disagree. When the robots come at us, we're going to need the dire wolf. This is animal world versus you think that a human's going to be able to fight off these robots? We definitely need some dire wolves on our side.
Oh, my God.
You can train a dire wolf. The robots and AI, listen, there's so many ways the world's going to end. This one I have lower.
You want to get
list.
eaten by a T-Rex?
Yeah,
that's where this is going. It starts with pets, and then all of a sudden we're at velociraptors, guys.
Yeah. Are you more likely?
Open your third eye.
I kind of don't want to die.
Wow. Who would have thought Maggie's thought 3 levels too deep on this?
Are you more likely to die from a dinosaur or your microwave becoming self-evident and attacking you?
So I don't have a microwave. Checkmate.
2025.
I know. I don't have a microwave. It's the weirdest thing about me. But Tom Brady, the weirdest thing about Tom Brady is this. He cloned his dog.
Yeah, let's start with that.
For money.
Let Fido be gone in peace.
They're not even calling it the same name.
Man, forget the cloning. You don't have a microwave?
I do not.
No, she has a fire going all the time in her backyard for her meat.
No, we just eat it raw. Come on, guys. Hormones.
No, by the way.
We just don't have a microwave.
If you're a parent or you buy food anywhere and you want to have a bad time, ask Maggie about the ingredients.
Oh my gosh, I made soup yesterday and I needed to blend it. And my husband just looks at me and goes, "You're going to put that hot liquid in plastic?" I was like, see, this is what I'm dealing with.
I know.
Wow, you guys are amazing. Where's the party?
I told Maggie that I put goldfish. I told Maggie that I put goldfish in my daughter's lunch, and she looked at me like I had just given her arsenic.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be eating raw fish. No, I'm just kidding. You meant the goldfish crackers. Yeah, those things are bad for you. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm that person.
Stop, bro.
But guys, I'm not cloning my pets. Let's keep this on Brady. Brady is the weirdo,
You're
not me.
basically cloning your pets by not having a microwave. You're not that far. That's why you're so upset about this.
Let's put the poll up. Who's weirder, Tom Brady for cloning his pets or me for not owning a microwave? Bogish, over to you.
Oh, thanks. Headlines proudly sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles and maybe your cloned pets 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Can I go back to our The Games Don't Matter convo from last hour? Because I'd like to present Boston College.
Okay.
The Fightin' Hasselbecks are 1-8 this football season. That lone win coming over my Fordham Rams, who have just one win themselves down on the FCS level. But I'm guessing the CFP committee has BC ahead of Fordham on their rankings. Either way, head coach Bill O'Brien is not doing well.
Coach, wondering, do you have a message for the fans? Obviously losing to Notre Dame, Catholic school rival, 1-8 now in the season BC. I've heard from a lot of fans. They're just really
I'm really glad. You know, I'm glad you're down. I'm not down. Nobody's down. We're fighting. We're competing. You know, it's the second year of this program, Mike. You always come in here with these down questions. Like, you show up like once a month or something like that. You come in here with these down questions. I'm not down. I don't know what year you graduated from BC, but this is a program that we're building. Okay. Nobody here's down. We're positive. We're going to show up and play our asses off against SMU. You can go out there in your dark, clouded world or whatever it is and do what you want to do. We're not down. The sun is up, and we're fighting. That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor?
Trevor, you better have a good question.
It's November in Boston, so the sun's definitely not up.
What act to follow?
Wait, hold on one second. I'll allow Bill O'Brien to get all huffy in a press conference only if
That's one angry cleft chin.
we can see all the correspondence in the last 3 weeks between him and his agent talking about Penn State. If and only if. Because
Penn
something
State.
tells me that he wants to circle back to that job.
You think Penn State wants to hire the guy who's only beaten Fordham this year?
I'm just saying, if he can be huffy like that, but we get to see all of your text messages about whatever these open jobs you think are available, either in college or in the pro level.
I thought you were going a different direction. I thought you meant that they're promoting BC to make Notre Dame's win over them look better, so Notre Dame can get into the playoff. By the way, BC gave Notre Dame all it could handle. It was 18-10 in crunch time.
Yeah, BC covered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I thought it was more about Notre Dame. But even though, are a lot of shows talking about the BC Fordham controversy?
Is anyone talking about BC Notre Dame? No one's talking about any of this.
That game was very interesting. Bill O'Brien's right. They did fight kind of hard in that game, but that was a totally obnoxious comment by him. Get out of here, dude.
By the
When
way-
did you graduate BC?
Yeah,
By the way,
and
this
he
is a
would
guy-
leave in the first drop of a hat. Sorry.
No, this is a guy who also blamed everything that happened last year on Thomas Castellanos, who's not an all-future all-pro. But it seems like Thomas Castellanos wasn't the problem, right? You have one win this year, buddy. Maybe have a little humility in talking about how you're building a program. When you jettison the guy, he basically said he quit, and that's why he was no good, and the program's better off without him. And now you may be on the hot seat soon with how your team's performing. Carry on.
I think he's just pissed that he doesn't get to coach Drake May now with the Patriots, right?
Oh.
He's right. He's like, guys, I'm right here. I was with you.
I don't
for
got
how
to change
many
that. I don't got to
Super
change the addresses.
Bowls? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Josh McDaniels now has that job for life.
Well, Vrabel.
Yeah.
I was saying head coach.
Right. But
Yeah.
McDaniels is
Now
he was
McDaniels just
running
saved
the
their-
May thing.
Yep.
Like, then watch him get a head coaching job again. No, Bill's got to get back to Tom. I thought this was all circling back to Tom Brady because when I think the first thing I think about with Bill O'Brien is that sideline fight he had with Tom Brady. It's an all timer.
Well, if he wants to clone his dog, we got
Yeah.
someone he can talk to.
Yeah,
Tom Brady's got a
He might have to clone some good players for his roster.
venture capital-backed biotech startup that will clone your dog.
He's got a clone Doug Flutie, have him play every position.
Yeah, I
Doug
figured
Flutie playing linebacker?
Yeah.
Ooh.
it's one thing to fight with Tom Brady. It's another to fight with Mike. Like, he was bringing the same energy to poor Mike.
Mike Gualtieri is the guy's name. Yeah.
What year you graduate, Mike?
Your dark cloud life.
Well, you got to find out what Trevor's question was.
It was about SMU.
Turning the page.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mike. He actually said, "What's up, Coach?" Back to him. What's up, Trevor? Hey, Coach. So SMU.
Okay, Mike.
Oh my gosh, college football coaches are insane. Bogues, thanks so much. Coming up next, we will check back in with one of our favorite pals who covers the Dallas Cowboys. RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys will get his thoughts on the big trade from yesterday. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys acquiring Quinnen Williams for a second-round pick this year, 2026, and a first-round pick in 2027. It's the Maggie Perloff Show.
Did I talk to Michael?
Micah.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Well, Jerry Jones did not sit this one out. Trade deadline yesterday. Quinnen Williams now on his way to Dallas. The Jets get a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick. Maggie Smith, the former first-round pick for the Cowboys, also going to New York. And that was on the heels of a lesser trade for Logan Wilson, the linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. So 2 acquisitions on the defensive side of the ball. Let's get to RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys, one of our favorite Cowboy insiders. RJ, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. Good morning. Thanks to the Cowboys for making the day after a game a little bit more hectic than usual.
Yeah. What'd you think of the trade?
The Quinnen trade, I feel bad for Logan Wilson because he's sort of an afterthought to your point. But the Quinnen trade, I think it depends on exactly how mad you are at the Cowboys. And you could argue that yesterday they made some strides towards kind of mending that bridge. I think that it makes some sense with respects to 2026 and 2027, presuming the Cowboys have learned their lesson about playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. I don't think you can do anything or could have done anything to salvage 2025. I know that people probably woke up this morning feeling a little bit more optimistic about the campaign and maybe would have had they won on Monday night, but I do think that it suggests that they recognize that they had to do something to start to make the future look a little bit more prosperous.
But RJ, what about someone Jerry Jones's quote saying, "I'm getting older, like I don't have a lot of time." Typically, I think from the outside, people are like, "Well, that's not a smart way to team build." Do you think maybe there was like too much desperation here with the Cowboys moves?
I think that you could argue that there's desperation with any Cowboys move, even the Micah trade or the Jonathan Mingo trade a year ago. And I think that that's where Cowboys conversations get a little bit lost, particularly on a national level, with all due respect to my friends Maggie and Perloff, because you simply can't draw a common denominator underneath every single thing that the Cowboys do. You can't trace everything together and say, oh, well, this now in their minds justifies the Micah trade or whatever. This was what they felt like doing on Tuesday. The Micah trade was what they felt like doing in late August. And I suppose it's always uncomfortable to talk about this subject, life and aging and just moving along in time. You can make the argument that Jerry certainly wants to win another and have his own that is independent of Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, 1995 was, and we could quibble about that. But there is some introspection there, but there also is some hypocrisy. I mean, yesterday morning on local radio, Jerry lauded Maggie Smith and talked about how important it was to hold on to him. And I suppose that was some gamesmanship, but later that afternoon, obviously, dealt him away in the Quinnen Williams trade.
RJ Ochoa is joining us from Blogging the Boys. Always love to get his perspective on everything Dallas Cowboys. We had a caller earlier, RJ, from Dallas who called in and said Jerry was just doing this to placate the fan base, right? Because people were booing when the Cowboys were losing to the Cardinals on Monday Night Football, and this was just sort of a shiny object that they could hang on to. What do you think of that? Do you feel like Jerry is losing the fan base in a real way, tangible way, dollars and cents affecting his bottom line?
I think that multiple things can be true. I don't think that the Cowboys will ever suffer financially. I don't think any NFL team will ever suffer financially. The sport is just too big in our country at the very least. I do think that the Cowboys, I know I've said this to you all in the past, that 2023 wild card loss to the Packers was significant. And people say things like this, and this isn't exaggeration or hyperbole. That was a very different loss, particularly because of what happened in the immediate aftermath of it. The all-in quote, the actually doing nothing, the bringing Zeke back. I mean, it just was the most toxic possible year that the Cowboys could have had. And it felt like gaslighting to the highest order. And so I do think that people have developed a different kind of apathy. It's impossible to separate yourself from your favorite sports team. And it's impossible to fully turn off emotion and say, I'm not going to watch, I'm not going to have a vested interest. But I do think that it did break a fourth wall for a lot of people. And I do think it did make a lot of people realize. I tweeted on Tuesday after the loss, before all the trades, what was the moment that you kind of realized the Cowboys care about things more than winning? And I would say a significant majority of people said that, the 2023 playoff loss and everything that followed. And so this may be an effort to buy and restore some goodwill, but they're at a point now where they just have too many fires to put out. Because great, you traded for Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams, but if you don't get a George Pickens extension done, a lot of this was for naught. So you are still chasing your tail to some degree, and we still have to see them fully learn their lesson and take their medicine from a macro point of view.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what do you expect to happen this offseason with George Pickens?
Well, they're in a unique spot in that they don't have a first-round draft pick who's eligible for a contract extension to soak up all the drama. That was Mozzie Smith, the player that would have been eligible. And George is kind of the only one. And what's different for George relative to Dak or CeeDee or Micah is that the Cowboys would have to place the franchise tag on him as a placeholder. So we would get an earlier decision. The 11th hour is just sooner in the NFL calendar. And so if I'm being honest, I have no reason to expect anything else. I fully expect that they're going to do the same song and dance and place the tag on him and call it a placeholder and get down to the July 15th deadline and probably get a deal done ultimately at the final moments before they have to. I mean, that's just kind of how they go about this whole thing. There is no recent modern example to point to and say that was the instance in which they got ahead, because you can't do that without applying some sort of context. Even the Deron Bland or Tyler Smith or Jake Ferguson deals the Jake Ferguson deal as an exception in the immediate aftermath of the Micah Parsons extension. And so we still, again, kudos to them. Yesterday was a very good day for the Cowboys with regards to the future, but they have finally begun to establish a bit of a North Star to move towards as a franchise. But just because they've looked at their map and said, this is where it is, we still have yet to see them pack up camp and actually start hiking towards it.
Yeah, RJ Ochoa joining us for another minute or two, talking about the Cowboys. The big trade yesterday for Quinnen Williams is getting a lot of attention. And so do you think 2026, I know obviously health, and you got to assume, a lot of things, maybe Brian Schottenheimer gets a little more experience under his belt, all that stuff. 2026 outlook for the Dallas Cowboys as we sit here right now, RJ. I mean, how do you feel about it? Pretty positive or more towards I got to wait and see?
I feel more positive about it than any year since that 2023 playoff loss, because they've sort of made their bet, particularly by betting the better of their 2 first-round draft picks that they hold with the Green Bay Packers in the aftermath of the Micah trade. And I think that's the most exciting thing, is that they've sort of indirectly committed to serious effort, serious work. I think that they've also probably developed enough of attrition from within their own building with regards to their own players and their own staff. And everybody's just kind of tired of being the Michael Jordan that the Monstars wanted to shackle up and have everybody beat one-on-one. And so I think that there's more optimism, more positivity. But in 2026, their drought will officially be 30 years old. We round up and we approximate it, but the shadow that they all live under looms larger each and every single day, with the ironic sense that it doesn't cover up the sun that shines in through their Sunday afternoon games.
RJ, simple question. Is Brian Schottenheimer a good coach?
I think so, but I think the fact that they got to this point was not the plan. I stand by that process was broken and silly and toxic, and that he has surprised everyone involved, and serious kudos to him for that. But I think he's a good coach, and the Cowboys should be very fortunate that they stumbled into that, the way they stumbled into Dak Prescott and Tony Romo and a billion other things over the last 25 years.
RJ, we know it's a really busy day for you. Thank you so much for doing this and for giving us a little finger on the pulse of what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks so much.
Of course. You'll have a great rest of the week.
Thanks, RJ.
Same to you. I love it. It's like, yeah, things are going well, but not because the Cowboys planned it. It's like they woke up on Tuesday. They decided, all right, let's do this thing for Quinnen Williams. And, it's like RJ doesn't want to give tons of credit that there's this great plan, but they may have actually backed into a plan.
Not in my opinion.
Well,
they backed into another mistake. I mean, a mistake upon mistake upon mistake. That's how you get a 30-year drought.
I just don't see this move that way. Listen, I can't defend
what if
30
it's a high
years.
Pick?
But what makes you think it's going to be? The Cowboys don't.
The Cowboys are 3-5-1 right now. They're getting older and more injured as we speak. Quinnen Williams is just one player. I mean, I don't think that he can change everything.
I know, but you pair him with Overshawn, who I know you love.
Ezeraku,
Digazua. They have good guys on this defensive line when they're healthy.
some of those guys were out there getting run all over every weekend that I've watched. By the way, DeMarvion Overshown would have been a top 5 pick if he was ever going to be healthy, and everyone in the NFL knew that was not going to happen. So this is a pipe dream, Maggie. It's fantasy thinking. It's Jerry Jones thinking.
Coming up, it is Wednesday, and at this time, we do the Great Debate, something loosely based on the news. We got a great one today. I feel confident I'm going to win this one. Get to that in just a moment. Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Was tight, the crowd was loud, the judge went down, ain't no cheers now. Flicks are strained, they said real low, like a punch straight through my radio. Manny Rodriguez sitting third row, with his judge jersey and his heart broke slow. He stood up once, then he sat back down, poured that pain till he couldn't hear the sound. Now he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, talking to ghosts and cussing at the stars. Why'd you take my hero? What did he do? Whiskey on his lips, Yankee tears in his boots. Bartender said, son, it's just a game, but to many it's blood running through his veins. So pour one more shot and leave on the line for the kid who lost hope when we lost 99. Shortstop in a little league town, swung like Judge, always dreaming big now. Had the poster, had the swing, hell, he even rocked that pinky ring. But the Bronx felt cold when Judge went down, man, he just drifted to another round. Talking like Judge was a brother he knew, swearing he felt that pain too. Now he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, talking to ghosts and cussing at the stars. Why'd you take my hero? What did he do? Whiskey on his lips, Yankee tears in his boots. Bartender said, son, it's just a game, but to many it's blood running through his veins. So pour one more shot and leave on the line for the kid who lost hope when we lost 99. Played shortstop in a little league town, swung like Judge, always dreaming big now. Had the poster, had the swing, hell, he even rocked that pinky ring. But the Bronx felt cold when Judge went down, man, he just drifted to another round. Talking like Judge was a brother he knew, swearing he felt that pain too. Maybe tomorrow he'll find his way home, but tonight, that pinstripe heart's alone, and the world just don't feel right. When your hero's down and out for the fight. Yeah, he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, praying that rehab ain't too far. Come back soon, Judge, we need you bad. Man, he's got no tears left to be had. He don't want pity, don't want no sign, just wants his hero back in that life. So pull one more shot and leave on the line till we rise again with our 99. Well, the game was tight, the crowd was loud, then Judge went down, ain't no cheers now.
Here.
There's a roof.
You're good.
Oh, Globe Lights. Maggie, you didn't tell me there's a roof. Not here.
There's a roof. Lillian for Manny Shirtness. Yeah, with your Holland. Yes, big friendly. Yes. I love your poems and would love to go on a date with you.
Yes, Big Friendly. I love your poems and would love to go on a date with you.
Break ends in 5 seconds.
Yeah! Let's go, Knicks! Let's go, baby! Yeah!
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
The picks were flying yesterday. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. NFL trade deadline did not disappoint. And some really, really steep prices going for some of these guys. Prices, I mean draft picks. Quinnen Williams goes to the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets get back a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick. And that wasn't even the biggest trade of the day for the New York Jets. They shipped Sauce Gardner, an all-pro corner at one point earlier in his career, to the Indianapolis Colts, Pearl, for 2 first-round picks. And we've talked a lot about the Dallas side of this. You can go and vote at Maggie and Pearl. Was this a good trade for Dallas? I like it. Perloff does not. Because you think it's just sort of more throwing you-know-what up against the wall with Jerry Jones. I actually think it is a thought about next year. It's not about this season. It's about next season.
Who makes a trade deadline deal for next year? Like, do it next year.
Well, when you see that the Jets hang a for sale sign out, and this is a player that you've actually been thinking about and wanting because he is so good against the run, you have to strike while the deal's available. And to me, I understand it. And I called Jerry Jones an embarrassment yesterday. I said yesterday this is the most embarrassing year he's ever had as the Cowboys owner. Started with a documentary about how great he is, and now the team is 3-5-1 and just looking totally lost. But I actually love this deal. I gotta call it like it is. I like this deal, not for this year. This year is probably lost. But for 2026 and 2027, when you still have an expensive Dak Prescott, an expensive CeeDee Lamb, and some other big pieces, this was a good addition.
I give it a hard F.
Wow.
Hard F.
I give it an A.
That's funny. The analytic crowd might be with me.
Well,
Seth
nerds.
Walder, who writes ESPN Alex, gave the Cowboys an F and the Jets an A. I mean, the Jets get an A. Can both teams get an A? Because the Jets absolutely get an A.
Okay.
Because he wanted out, and they got a lot of draft capital for him. So regardless of how you see the Cowboys side, the Jets had every incentive to do this, separate of the Cowboys.
No doubt. Jets are different
Why
calculus.
such nerds?
Jets different calculus. Jets don't get an A for anything. They can't get full A because they haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. You won. All the Jets W's come on days that they are not playing games.
So you have to see the draft picks actually work out before you're going to give it a full A? But come on.
Okay, can
they
I
made
just say
2
something?
A trades. There's no doubt about it.
We'll get to Sauce Gardner in a second, what it means for the Colts. Can I just say something to EJ, the Jets, the whole deal about getting 5 first-round picks yesterday? That's what you got, right?
We got 3, but
you got
5
3
total.
and 5 total now over the next 2 years.
Yep.
It's a windfall. You guys are going to own April. Congrats. If you don't find
Famous last
a
words.
franchise quarterback, and I'm not talking about a good one, your guy with this many bites at the apple, it's not going to matter. And I know you guys made an AFC championship game back-to-back years with Mark Sanchez, who nobody thought was like a franchise quarterback. He was a high pick, and he actually was there for a while, but he was not as skilled as some of the other. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you have 5 first-round picks, and even if you trade a couple of those away to get veterans or whatever, if you don't come away with this, whether it's 2026 or 2027, I'm not saying you have to draft a quarterback this upcoming draft. If you don't like this draft, you don't like Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza or whatever, don't do it. Wait till 2027. Arch Manning.
DJ Lagway, if he's ever healthy.
Is Lenore Sellis would be available then?
Well, he's available now, I think.
Yeah. So
he could stay.
I would imagine he's going back. Anyway, maybe not. Anyway,
not in this should be a week left. But anyway, but
if you don't come away with a franchise quarterback, and I don't know about Darren Muji, he's a new GM, and this is him coming from the top rope, but it's going to be for nothing, EJ. And I'm sorry to make it so stark like that, but
you can't say it's for nothing.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, November 4th, Maggie.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't understand. Like, you're already grading the 2027 draft. What they did yesterday was smart. There's no.
That's fine. But if you don't come away with this in 2 years with your Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, then I think that you're just going to end up in another rebuild.
I mean, then you have nothing to lose, right? Because you've been rebuilding for 15 years.
No,
I'm
I'm not. I don't hate the strategy. I'm just here also telling you the reality.
No, that's fair. I just think to say it would be for nothing, I still think undervalues what it meant to get rid of 2 bloated contracts off your books and then have the draft capital to not just draft those quarterbacks potentially, but also draft other star young players too.
Totally.
And that's a big deal. That's not nothing because that helps you if you end up flopping in this next pick, helping you the next time. Like the reason why the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, it didn't work out. But the reason why they got him was because Aaron Rodgers looked at the Jets and said, hey, you drafted Quinnen Williams, Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner. I want to play with those guys.
Yeah.
There's a chance that maybe you get that happen again. Maybe you don't get a guy coming off an Achilles.
Right. Okay, so that to me, I don't think you can. You have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
If this is all to set up for a 40-year-old, like, former MVP.
It's not.
I just, no, but that's what EJ's saying.
No,
like,
I'm saying that's the worst-case scenario,
okay,
though.
right. But I think if you don't come away with this with your actual franchise guy, you're Drake May. I think that you're going to end up being really disappointed. And I love the process. Now I'm talking about the results, though. The process is great. Jets GM did the smart thing. He got an amazing return for Sauce Gardner. He got an amazing return for Quinnen Williams. The process is great, but let's talk about the results. If he can't deliver on that and find yourselves a franchise quarterback, I think you're going to be like, what the hell were all those picks for?
Yeah, man. To me, November 4th was the turning point for the Jets. I'm being dead serious because we all know what's looming out there at 27. It's not just the quarterbacks. It's also Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
And best player arguably on the planet right now, and he's a college player. He's a sophomore at Ohio State. I mean, this to get 2 for Sauce was, I mean, that's like a Herschel Walker kind of trade. Like, this is a franchise changer. I understand what you're saying. You can't judge it until everyone comes in, but you are increasing your odds exponentially, especially because that Cowboys one could be a top 10 pick, I think. I feel like the Cowboys injury history makes them really, really interesting as a trade partner.
The one thing also about Indianapolis, while this is about Sauce Gardner and it's about adding to a unit on their defense that needed some really big help. And this could really propel them to heights that no one could have foreseen before the season started for the Indianapolis Colts. But, you just gave Daniel Jones all the leverage in the world. And when he had leverage last time, the New York Giants bid on it, and they've regretted it almost immediately. So here's what I would say. This trade was actually more about a belief in Daniel Jones long-term, right? Than it, like long-term in the next couple years, than it even was maybe about this year. And I don't know, after 9 games and Daniel Jones's history, Pearl, couldn't be me. Like, I get it's been a great season this year, but I look at the track record of his injury history and his inability to win in the playoffs. And when he even gets there, they have one playoff win against the Minnesota Vikings team that was clearly had a way overinflated record a couple years ago. I can't look at Daniel Jones and say Super Bowl winning quarterback. Can't do it. Can't see it.
I mean, Shane Steichen got Jalen Hurts there. He's really good with this type of quarterback. And I think he might be a high-end coach. So that's why I have faith in this. I don't like this trade at all. I thought that it's way too much for a cornerback, unless the cornerback is Darrelle Revis 2.0, which I don't think Sauce Gardner is. I know he was a Jet. Revis was amazing. He would take Randy Moss one-on-one. That left 10 guys to rush the quarterback. I think the Colts are hoping that that's the kind of player he is, but that's a lot. I just really, if you watch, even this loss to the Steelers, Daniel Jones probably made about 4 throws that were absolutely elite. He just didn't have any time, and he had a problem where T.J. Watt came out of his coma for this game and was playing really well. So I think that you could win with a lot of different quarterbacks. You could win at a high level. I think you could go 10, 15 deep and win a Super Bowl, especially the other thing, too. That line is a superpower. Quentin Nelson is still just picking guys up and dragging them down the field. So with the right combination, Daniel Jones absolutely could do it. I might regret that, by the way, but say that if he has a big mistake. I guess my one concern with him is health, but he's clearly talented enough to do this, Maggie. He's got arm talent. He's fast. The problems were mental in New York, I think. I don't think they were ever physical.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. That's a little overview. There were some other big trades that were made yesterday. Seattle Seahawks get Raheed Shaheed.
Yes, deep threat. Awesome.
To pair with Jackson Smith and Jigba. So you get Seattle as another Super Bowl contender. They were already. Now they add another weapon. I'm just trying to get the Super Bowl odds here for the Indianapolis Colts. And I don't know how much they moved yesterday.
I did see, by the way, it's really funny. The Chiefs and the Bills keep flip-flopping on DraftKings, which is bizarre to me. Like, the Chiefs are still the Super Bowl favorite.
Indianapolis Colts now. Chiefs are the favorite. Chiefs and Bills are tied.
Tied at 6, right?
At plus 600. Rams, Eagles, Packers, Lions, and then the Colts.
Yeah. I mean, the AFC is so weird because then you also have the Baltimore Ravens looming. What if the Colts did this deal? I know we got to move on, and they lost in the first round. That'd be a big L.
They will say this is for the future.
It's a trade deadline. Do people not understand how trade deadlines work? They have to be for this year. You gave up 2 first-round picks.
No, that's not always the thinking.
Why? You can buy people in the offseason. If you're making a trade deadline deal, then you are paying for this half the season.
Well, the Colts clearly don't think that way because they're getting Sauce Gardner, who's 25 years old, and his extension hasn't even kicked in yet. They did 2 first-round picks and a guy who just signed a 4-year, $120 million deal.
If they weren't 7-2, there's no way they make this deal. They think they can do it now.
That's true, but they'll say, and we get him for the future. That's how they'll justify it. 888-710-4ISN. It's Wednesday. Let's do the great debate.
The Great Debate Series.
All right, bro. We always say these great debates loosely based on the news. A couple things we've been noticing lately. There's a lot of really great crowds.
Oh, yeah.
Toronto had a great crowd. Crowd in L.A., no one left, 18 innings. People throwing tortillas. College football. Just a lot of really cool crowds, and we've taken notice. So today's great debate. Who has the best home field or home court advantage? Now, distinction here. This isn't just vibes, right? This is an actual advantage. Who do you think actually benefits in terms of wins and losses from having the home field or the home court advantage? Why don't you start us off?
All right, so I went historical, not current. Because current, home field, it's famously been disappearing in recent years for a bunch of different reasons. But back in the 80s, it was a thing. Back in the 60s and 70s, even more of a thing. And who had the biggest home court advantage? The Boston Celtics.
A garden, it's not. It's a train station, really. One flight up and you're on the fabled parquet floor. Now, before you get all misty-eyed about the parquet, take a closer look. Somebody lays a floor like this at my house, and I suggest he try it again when he's sober. There's something about those banners in the rafters, 19 of them Celtic-related. They are the only things that will give you goosebumps in the garden. It certainly won't be the air conditioning. There isn't any.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right at 1 second left.
Oh, man, why do we have to do that in Detroit? That was actor Paul Ryden. Very funny. In Jeff Pearlman's book, Winning Time, he talked about when the Lakers would visit, the visiting locker room felt like it was 120 degrees on hot days, and on winter days, it felt like it was 20 degrees. So he was clearly messing with the thermostat. Red Auerbach, the owner, is. There were dead spots on the floor that only Larry Bird knew. And just one number in the 80s, from 85 and 86 and 86 and 87, 2 seasons, the Celtics were 79-3 at the Garden. That's not bad. They went 40-1 one year at home. That was, to me, when I think of home court advantage, I like cheating. I almost, by the way, I know no one picked it. Like, who else could cheat at home? I almost went the Astros just to annoy people.
Oh, yeah.
but Red Auerbach was the original Astros.
It's a good one. Okay, we're asking great debate today. Who has the greatest home field or home court advantage? And to me, it's got to be the stadium that has the current world record for loudest crowd in terms of decibel in the history of sports. Belongs to Arrowhead Stadium. Pearl, deafening noise in Arrowhead. I know we think of Seattle with the 12th man, but the record actually belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
And not just that, they, according to Warren Sharp, they receive more calls at home in terms of roughing the passer and offensive calls, and then on the flip side, baiting the offense into more calls than any team in the NFL. It's actually Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs have hosted the last 7 AFC championship games and gotten to the Super Bowl in 5 of them. One time Joe Burrow got them, and one time Tom Brady got them since 2018. The best home field and home court is Arrowhead Stadium.
Burrow had my ass. Woo! It's Mahomes' house. Hey, I got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth.
We didn't even do the fight for your right to party. Arrowhead Stadium, best home field, home court. EJ, what do you have?
All right, so you guys went pro, 2 great picks. But I'm going where I think when we think of atmospheres and fear of playing someplace, I went to the college ranks. I think that's where it really applies. And I went to none other than Durham, North Carolina, and Old Sheshetskyville.
I've never seen a scene quite like this one. Yesterday at 3:30 outside of Cameron, the students came, began pitching their tents. And throughout the night, the students came awaiting this game. They pitched their tents. They slept in sleeping bags. Then this morning at 10 o'clock, the doors were open. 4,000 students are allowed in. First come, first serve.
He lets it fly.
Why would you want to leave those Cameron crazy? That's right. Cameron Indoor Stadium is the best home court advantage in all the sports. Duke's record since 2004, 2005, 284 and 30. That is only second to Allen Fieldhouse, which is another great place. But I think you combine the Duke Blue Devils and combine the fear factor of those crazies and the atmosphere. You got the people in the tents waiting all week to get into the game. There's nothing like Cameron Indoor Stadium. That's not a place you want to play if you're an opponent. Duke, Cameron Indoor Stadium, best home court advantage in all sports.
That's our great debate today. Who's got the greatest home court or home field advantage in all of sports? Manny Guapo.
I too went to the pro level, and I think feel like if this team is playing its best basketball, there's no place like Madison Square Garden.
Shot clock is off. DiVincenzo, no. Hardenstein with an offensive rebound. Another chance here. DiVincenzo. He's got it. The Knicks have the lead again. Their defense turning into offense. What a flurry for the Knickerbockers.
The famed defense chants at Madison Square Garden, the iconic crowd pops that happen whenever the Knicks do something good. Even when the Knicks win 17 games a season, they'll win 4 of them at Madison Square Garden. And in those 4 home wins, even though they're one of the worst teams in the NBA, it'll sound like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So I'll go with the Garden.
Yeah, not bad.
The original Garden, the real Garden.
The real Garden for sure.
The real Garden. All right. Perloff did the Boston
where
Garden.
they won all those NBA Finals games. That Garden.
So
I'm going to punch you in the forehead. That's what I'm going to do.
The question is, who has the greatest home field and home court advantage, Bogues? What do you got?
Am I going to be the only one that does college football? We had college basketball, a made-up NBA arena, a real NBA arena, and you're very hyper-local Arrowhead nightmares. Give me college football. This team currently shares the longest I'm going straight numbers here. They currently share the longest home winning streak in the nation. For a long time, they had the longest home winning streak ever in the sport. It might not be super loud. It might not be super imposing. This might be about just the players and the coaches, but nobody should want to go to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama doesn't lose football games at home. Kalen DeBoer, say what you want, still hasn't lost there either yet. 10-0, 15 straight overall. Give me Alabama's home field.
There you go. A great debate today. Who's got the greatest home court, home field advantage?
Made up numbers.
So we got a lot to chew on. You know what I thought about for this exercise? What about like altitude? is the easy answer like Utah or Denver, or playing at Azteca Stadium.
Or La Paz, Bolivia, where it's 10,000 feet above.
I was gonna say.
What about a baseball stadium where it flies out, like the old Colorado Stadium?
Yeah, right. Like where the Rockies play.
That's a home field disadvantage.
Yeah,
or everyone else comes in and hits home runs.
Wrigley when the wind's going out. I mean, it does make a distinction on the sport. But also, the Broncos used to be amazing at home. Is that kept up through the years?
I just think it's the true home field is, when a team has to adjust to the climate, right? And we see this with the NBA playoffs and stuff like that, especially early in a series when you have to face the Nuggets. Like, guys are just winded.
I like how about a big baseball stadium where you have a pitcher, like the old Busch Stadium for the St. Louis Cardinals. They would build their team around speed and pitching, and then the power teams had no chance because the fence was a mile away. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up there for you. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. What do you consider the greatest home court, home field advantage in all of sports? And is it about the crowd, the loudness? Is it about the weather, the elements? Tell us what you got. All right, Maggie Perloff Show. We get back to the trade deadline, and the first college football playoff rankings came out last night. I was shocked by a couple things. Stunned. Get to that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore.
Okay.
Aya Maya Leava. Aya Maya Leava.
Oh! Uncle Sam's on YouTube, tune in for some laughs. With a beer in his hand and his feet on the grass, he cheers for the Bogersh and Perloff with a toast to the day. 4th of July is the best, you'll hear him say. Raise your glass like the sky, it's the 4th once more. Uncle Sam's got stories that you can't ignore. From Maggie to Perloff, he's got quite the plan to celebrate freedom with a drink in his hand. Uncle of the Year with a patriotic twist, watching sports and sipping brews, none he's missed. He jokes and he's got the flag in his hand, streaming Maggie and Perloff across this land. He's cracking a cold one before the sun, saying Columbus Day's the holiday when the party's just begun. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Uncle Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream. Maggie and Perloff are living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti, he ain't in sight. Skipped out on work like every holiday night. Stars and stripes hanging on the old porch rail. Sam's got a cooler like a Columbus Day sale. Neighbors shake their heads, but they all still grin, 'cause every holiday's a reason for Sam to dive in. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Uncle Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream. Maggie and Perloff are living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti, he ain't in sight. Skipped out on work every holiday day. He called out again like don't count on me. Maggie's laughing, Perloff shaking his head. Sam's got 3 flags stuck out on the shed. Fireworks cracking on a Monday night, celebrating Columbus by neon light. So pour one out for the land of the free. Uncle Sam's the king of holiday TV. He's dancing around to that WFAN jam with Maggie Perloff in his red, white, blue can. Somewhere Bellotti's still fast asleep. Columbus Day secrets that he'll never keep. Yeah. Sam's scared of his holiday. Even if people out never shows up anyway. Well, Uncle Sam's got the flag in his hand, streaming Maggie Perloff across this land. He's cracking a cold one before the sun, saying Columbus Day's the holiday where the party's just begun. So raise a glass to the name of the pizza, the Santa Maria. Drunk Uncle Santa Maria, drunk Uncle Sam shouts salute with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream, Maggie and Perloff living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti nowhere to be. He called out again like don't count on me. Maggie's laughing, Perloff shaking his head. Sam's got 3 flags stuck out on the shed. Fireworks cracking on a Monday night, celebrating Columbus by neon light. So pour one out for the land of the free. Drunk Uncle Sam's the king of holiday TV. He's dancing around to that WF Van Jam with Maggie Perloff and his red.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. Manny, I assume you're playing this song because we are in a heated, great debate today.
Oh, sure. That's exactly
No holds barred. We are trying to figure out the best home field advantage in all of sports. I do want to point out that your Buffalo Bills were 8-0 at home last year.
Yeah, Manny asked if I was going to do Highmark Stadium. I said no. I gave it to Arrowhead. The Chiefs have had this home field advantage cooking, and they have the loudest stadium. They literally hold the record for highest decibel, and they get the most calls at home, according to Warren Sharp, who does analytics for a living.
Not going with the Ralph is one of the most anti-Bills things you've ever done in your life.
Well, I'm not going to be a homer, and I do think Arrowhead is I don't think it's even underrated. I think it's properly rated. And the fact that the Seattle Seahawks, I think we all believe, have the loudest because the acoustics in there and the 12th man. But lately, you've been able to go into Seattle and win.
Yeah. Well, Seattle,
Since
actually,
the Legion of
they've
Boom.
been selling seats to the opposing fans, which is so bizarre. Texas A&M has this weird volume thing. I don't know. The way the stadium is built, it's honestly like very, very uncomfortable. How it's like a jet plane at all times. The original 12th man, they will claim.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Texas Tech, you got the tortillas. Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah. I mean, all the SEC schools are, as an SEC coach will tell you, are hard to play at. Yeah, it's funny. Lambeau would have been one of the answers, but they have these high-profile losses of late in the playoffs. Famously, and when the weather got cold, it kind of hurt Aaron Rodgers, which made no sense because back in the Favre days, they were unbeatable at Lambeau.
Let's go to the phones, 888-710-4ISN. Who's got the greatest home field, home court advantage in sports? Sean's in Oregon. Sean, I can guess where you're going with this one.
We're going to Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, where Indiana just came there and shut down our 18-game winning streak. We had the longest winning streak in the nation. And I think we're like 41 for 42 before that. We can't even get big-name teams to come here and play. We beat Oklahoma. We beat Michigan here. We can't get nobody to come here. We go other places. We beat them. I've seen the Ducks lose on the road, and they've lost in Cowboys Stadium to teams like LSU and different teams like that. But you come here to Oregon, it don't rain at Autzen Stadium.
Let's hear
That's the saying here. You guys have a great day, and you watch some Ducks games. We're going to do pretty well.
Yeah, Sean, listen, Oregon, the third of the Big Ten teams that are in the college football playoff as of the rankings that were released yesterday. All right, let's hear a little Autzen Stadium.
3rd and 20. Howard, a lot of time coming off. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out, and that'll do it. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. They storm the field at Autzen, and the Ducks win this bout 32-31.
Okay, so here's my thing about Autzen. It's beautiful there. You and I, Pearl, have both been lucky enough to be there. It is an amazing home field and home court advantage. That's the great debate today. But before Dan Lanning got there, Oregon was kind of known to lose some of these big games at home, you know? So I don't know if I really think of it. It's a beautiful place to go. It's unique. Same thing with the University of Washington. If we're just talking about Pacific Northwest, it's right there in the Puget Sound. It's gorgeous. But up until very recently, I don't know if they were as intimidating. I think, USC came in and beat Oregon a few times up there.
Yeah, they were pretty good under Chip Kelly in Oregon. I know there were a couple high-profile losses. I was at one to USC, but I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good one. I'd like to see your numbers on how many big losses. It's just because they raised the bar so high. This is Oregon football. Back in the day, they weren't like dominant. This is all a recent phenomenon. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. It's also the coolest stadium.
It's very cool.
It's so cool, and the track field across the street is the probably the single coolest thing in all of sports.
Yeah, well, when Nike's bankrolling you, it should look pretty slick. Wilson's in Southern California. Wilson, what's the greatest home court, home field advantage in sports?
Well, this is a no-brainer. Nice to hear from you guys again.
Yeah.
UCLA in the early 70s had a 98-game win streak at Pauley Pavilion. This took place over 3 30-0 seasons for the dominant Bruins under John Wooden. The Bruins only hang NCAA championship banners. They don't hang conference championships or any other tournaments. It's only all those national championships, but 98 in a row. It was a slaughterhouse for visiting teams.
Wilson, it's a great one. Pauley Pavilion back in the 70s, Kareem, Bill Walton. I mean, it was and 25 other Hall of Famers. Amazing.
But, you could have played on the moon with that roster.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Was that about the arena?
Yeah.
Was that about the stadium? Was that just about Wooden getting the best players? Like, isn't John Wooden from Indiana famously, right?
Yeah.
If he had done that at Indiana.
Oh, that's another one. When Bobby Knight, that little stadium in Indiana, that's a good one. I did pick the Boston Garden because it's so quirky. I feel like college sports might have been the right way to go here. College is like intense.
Well, you can go vote right now at Maggie and Pearl for whichever venue you think has the greatest home field, home court advantage. Let's get to Andrew Bogish because we have a lot going on today.
Guys, there are a lot of sacrificial lambs early in a college basketball season, lower level schools that get a paycheck to take a trip and take a beating from the big boys or the big young ladies. Enter Bethesda Community College women's basketball. They're the Lion Angels. They went to Cal State Northridge last night, and it went worse than usual.
The Matadors' largest victory in program history.
Oh, my goodness. You said victory, and Cheyenne Moreo gets the three-pointer and gets this entire crowd in the Premier American Credit Union Arena is clapping for them. Everybody excited. They finally scored a bucket, Graham.
Oh, no.
Wow. You talk about sportsmanship. That was a nice display of it right there.
Yes, it is definitely good sportsmanship for cheering Bethesda's first basket of the game. The question is, what's the sportsmanship involved in not letting them score until the middle of the third quarter? It was 72-0 Cal State Northridge when that basket went in.
Yeah, hard to do the sportsmanship thing when it's 72-0.
72-0. They played 25 minutes of college basketball without a point. They lost the game, Bethesda did, 103-13 the day after losing, but covering 92-23 at UC San Diego. On top of the talent disparity, apparently Bethesda, the flu bugs going around, they only had 4 players to finish that San Diego game. So,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, they could have just, can you opt out of a game when you're a community college and you've got the flu?
Well, you know what they're calling it? The person who scored the 2 points, that was the flu game for her.
Good job, Shan.
It was an incredible feat.
Was a good job, Cheyenne.
Yeah, I think that's what the broadcaster said his name was.
Yeah.
103-13.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that you can bet on this feels a little weird.
What was the prize picks action on that game?
As a former bench warmer, though, I understand why the other team did not let up. Like, this is when you got to get your points. This is when Bethesda comes to town. Oh, my God, you cannot let up. Like, you're not going to get an opportunity otherwise.
Who did you have your, moment against? When you were at Dartmouth and you were bench warmer,
actually,
who'd you get to tee off on?
I was so bad in high school, I couldn't even tee it. By high school, but at Dartmouth, we played the prep schools, and they were all really good.
They're high school kids. You're
No,
they're post-grad, right?
Post-grad
I'm
years. They
sorry.
were my age, and they were dominant. Like, we get killed. I got dunked on my head about 1,000 times. But we played this one school that had a bunch of nerds. Like, they always go to, I can't remember. I think it was
Like Taft?
You played yourself?
Was it
It
MIT
was like
by chance?
Chode or something. I don't know.
Deerfield Academy?
Deerfield Academy, I think, was good. It was something like that. It was some fancy prep school that didn't have a bunch of future D1 players. And we just feasted. Me and the bench crew, as we called ourselves, we feasted.
Who was on the bench crew?
Bunch of doctors and lawyers.
It was me. There was this big Alaskan dude. I can't remember his name.
It's a random fact.
Yeah.
Not Carlos Boozer.
Yeah. It was, you ever seen the movie Animal House?
Yeah.
When they go to the rush party and Jugdead, Muhammad, and all the nerds are in the corner? That was the bench crew. It was me, Charlie. I'll pull up the picture. I'll show you these guys.
Oh,
and we
great.
were a motley weird crew.
Let's see Perloff's basketball photo, the team photo.
Oh, it was
See how many
amazing.
hedge fund billionaires are in that photo.
Oh, not at all. Like this was these people. We were like the losers at Dartmouth. Like we didn't become the hedge fund managers. We went into the sports talk radio. Worst mistake of our lives. Okay.
Maggie just mentioned Carlos Boozer as we switch to men's college basketball. His son Cameron played his first real game for number 6 Duke last night. He missed his first 7 shots, but recovered to finish with 15 points and 13 rebounds against Texas. Here's his head coach, John Shire, on ESPN.
Well, I'm proud of him because it wasn't easy in the first half. He wasn't happy with the way he was playing. Credit them with how they were guarding as well. But I think that shows a ton of maturity. I think it shows great competitiveness that he's able to turn it around as a freshman in this environment, game 1 against Texas.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by Ludacris.
Shire.
Man, he's like, I got pros, different area codes. That's the radio edit.
Yeah, that's right.
Shire, Boozer, Duke beat Texas 75-60. Top-ranked Purdue handled Evansville 82-51 behind 30 points from Fletcher Lawyer, who should have been on Dartmouth's JV team in the 90s with Perloff. Meanwhile, the top of the first CFP rankings, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama, they would have the first weekend of the postseason off. Notre Dame and Oregon making the initial bracket despite some issues with their resumes. In the NBA, the Thunder still haven't lost. They're 8-0 after a 126-107 win on the Clippers floor last night.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
with 30 points and 12 assists.
Obviously win a championship, have the start we did this year, or have so far this year. No matter what, we're focused on getting better. And if you do that, you'll look up and eventually be where you want to be.
8-0 is a good place to be. It's the best start in franchise history. Steph Curry scored 28 in the Warriors' 118-107 win over the Suns, and the Pelicans got their first win, 116-112 over the Hornets. But stunningly, Zion's out 7 to 10 days with a grade 1 left hamstring strain.
It's grade 1, the good one or the bad one?
Well, for him, it might as well be a grade 17.
I love it.
Might as well amputate the leg.
Yeah,
Is
we'll
it
see him
7
in
to
February.
10 business days? Damn.
And the Anaheim Ducks on a 4-game win streak, a 7-3 decision over the Panthers last night. 3 goals and 1 assist from Cutter Gauthier, who will always love around here because he refused to play for the Flyers after they drafted him.
Good for him.
As everyone should. Guys, back to you.
Smart man. I saw a video just now of the Ducks they posted on social media of an actual duck playing the bongos. It was a nice little percussion beat.
That duck's really going places.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Probably in better places than the ducks.
The duck, a real duck, was playing the bongos?
Yeah, that's right.
What's in that little canister of Zins you got over there?
I saw it. It's real.
Oh, my God.
Telling you, that Zins energy is everywhere. Woo! I mentioned when I met the GM of the Jets, Darren Muji, had some Zins right there on the table. Hopefully I'm not giving away some secrets.
There you go.
And now he's out here just getting first-round picks after first-round picks in the
Giving
NFL
away
trade.
secrets. It's nicotine. It's not crack cocaine.
Yeah. I hope they weren't usins like Jim Harbaugh, though. Remember that story?
Yes.
They put him in his pocket?
For later.
Fall on the ground, he put it back in his mouth.
That was
put it back in his pocket.
That's absolutely
Who's
fine.
got it better than us, Jim Harbaugh?
Not that Zin.
Speaking of hockey, did you guys see? I just saw the headline. I tried to read a little bit into the scandal that's going on with the former Rangers player who apparently was ripping off his girlfriend. According to her, she's suing him for stealing money from her PayPal account. And it was apparently to cover gambling debts.
Who is this?
And some other things. And then you're reading, and it's like she's also an adult actress. She's a OnlyFans.
Oh, I just saw model when I first read about this story.
They always say that.
I'll
in
do
the
more
first
research.
One. No, listen,
Stand
and
by.
it doesn't matter.
2 players just came to mind.
It doesn't matter what she does for a living. Obviously, it seems like he pretty dead to right kind of was ripping her off, and he seems like he's a train wreck. Did you see this story, Bogues?
I did. He is not in any way a high end former Ranger or former NHL player at all.
It's a former NHL player, not playing.
I
Not
think
active.
because of this.
Yeah,
I
he's in a
believe.
ton of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's hireable.
He was
at
like
the
passing
moment.
off fake checks. He was like, lady, and also just like straight up stealing from her account, according to her.
I
Why
have-
she gave him her PayPal account?
Do we know the
Trust.
identity of this
Maybe-
individual?
I don't remember
can't-
his name.
and I also don't know how to pronounce
So
it.
it's not Sean Avery.
Arthur Kaliev.
Yeah, Kaliev, Arthur
Kaliev,
Kaliev.
Oh, I'm sorry. My first guess was Sean Avery. I'm a bad person.
That's libelous.
Did you say Arthur Kaliev?
You know him?
That dude owes me money.
Get that class action suit
He
ready.
was on the bench mob.
I sold him some.
He's in the actual mob.
I sold him
Part
some.
4 next to the Alaskan guy.
I sold him some used Zins once.
All of a sudden, you give him your PayPal password, and boom, your account's empty. What's up with that? Anyway, we'll get some of those details to you in just a moment. Maggie Perloff Show. We're asking you today, our great debate, what is the best home court or home field advantage in all of sports? And who was the biggest loser at the NFL trade deadline yesterday? It's M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this Thursday night football preview is sponsored by Square. More than 4 million neighborhood businesses run on Square. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood Square. We got Raiders at Broncos this weekend.
Well,
it
this
feels
Thursday.
This Thursday, sorry. It doesn't feel like a dramatic matchup like it should be the Broncos. They're 8.5-point favorites. But the Broncos lend themselves to a lot of drama, Maggie. This could end up being a really interesting game.
Yeah, well, the Broncos sometimes, they're kind of asleep through the first three quarters, and then all of a sudden, Bo Nix comes alive in the fourth quarter and looks like the second coming. But here's where I think this is really important for Denver. Obviously, the Raiders season has gone pretty much off the rails. They traded Jacoby Myers yesterday. It's just not gone well here for Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, Tom Brady, John Spytek. It's just not been a good first season, okay? But why this is important for Denver, because if you think that Kansas City is looming, right? If you think Kansas City has kind of found something, I know they're coming off a loss, but Denver's going to play Kansas City next week, and then Denver goes on their bye. You need to stack as many of these wins as possible if you're Denver. Now, they're 7-2 right now. They're 7-2. It looks like it's their division. It'd be like probably take something catastrophic for them to lose it at this point. But I know there are so many people who just feel like Kansas City is Michael Myers, not Michael Meyer.
Michael Mayer,
not Michael Mayer, the tight end
from Notre Dame. Yep.
But Michael Myers, like they can't be killed, and that they're going to just steadily drip, be right on their tail the whole time. Now, it might just be too much, but if you're Denver, you can't mess around, play with your food, and avoid to drop a game to a division rival who might be a little juiced up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But why, is it a major difference? Like, first of all, you're not getting away with the best record if you're the Chiefs or the Broncos. Does it really matter who's the wild card and who's the division winner?
Because you get to play at home.
For one round.
Yeah, for one round. But the Broncos could be going for the best record in the AFC. They're 7-2. They're right there with Indianapolis.
Yeah, but
Patriots.
We know their strength of schedule is much harder than the Patriots and the Bills. I mean, the Patriots have the easiest strength of schedule by 2 miles, and the Bills have I think the 5th easiest, where the West teams are not getting that kind of break at all.
Okay, but look at it. So you got Denver plays Las Vegas. They host Las Vegas on Thursday night. That's the game we're talking about. Then Kansas City, but they get them in Denver week 11. Then you're bye. Now, come out of the bye week. You're at Washington. Well, that looks a little different if Jaden Daniels isn't there. At Las Vegas again, where you'll probably get a home field advantage because the Broncos fans could travel to Vegas. Green Bay has shown that they are not above getting beat.
That's
Jacksonville.
A tough game. That could be a tough game.
But it's at home.
Green Bay's
at your place and Jacksonville's at your place. Yeah, going to Lambeau stinks, but not having them come to Denver?
But they have look at New England, except for Buffalo has 2 Jets games, Dolphins, Giants, Bengals, and Ravens is a hard one, whose record is deceiving. So I mean, this could be hard. We got the Colts, the Broncos, the Patriots, the Bills, and who knows the Chiefs. It's basically, I feel like it's going to be a hodgepodge in the AFC. You're talking about getting that number 1 seed. I don't see Denver doing it. Like, I don't even know if that's the goal, right?
But they got to win the division. And I
They
just
don't
think
have
that
to win the
people think
division.
that Kansas City, because they have 2 games left against Kansas City, that somehow Kansas City is coming.
You're going to have to, no, they don't have to win the division. You're going to have, Baltimore is probably going to be the lowest wild card, and they're going to be super dangerous in the playoffs.
So we were talking today, our great debate is what's the best home field, home court advantage in all of sports? And none of us picked Denver, but it is a big advantage to be able to have the altitude advantage in that way. I think it does matter. I think the Denver Broncos do want this home game.
One home, again, we're talking, I think
They're
they have
trying to
bigger
win a
goal.
playoff game.
They're
They
trying
look-
to get out of the AFC now, I think. I think they see the same vulnerability that the Colts did. Anyway, I mean, let me ask you this question. If the Chiefs were, maybe it's a different team. If they were the wild card and not the division winner, would that make any difference to you?
For the Chiefs, no, but the
Right.
Chiefs are not the Broncos. The Broncos don't have a track record of 8 years of getting to the AFC Championship game.
But we're doing greatest home field advantage today, and who did you pick?
I picked the Arrowhead. I picked the Chiefs. Taylor's version.
Yeah, or, I think you could argue the Chiefs are dangerous anywhere. It's funny. You're right. Denver does have a big home field advantage, but we've seen them lose big playoff games in Denver as well. So I don't really think it matters. It's such an interesting AFC right now. And I have to tell you, you know how I see it going? I feel like Kansas City is just going to rise to the top and beat all of these teams anyway. Because I don't care what happened against the Bills on Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. I generally think the Kansas City is coming together in a way on offense that is going to work. I don't care what Patrick Mahomes did. They have the receivers. They just need to amp up their run game a little bit and their short yardage a little bit, and they'll be fine.
I mean, is the story of the AFC right now not even Buffalo and Kansas City? Clearly not the Ravens until they, maybe make a run. The story of the AFC is now the Colts.
Nah, just because of trade?
2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner yesterday. It's a confirmation that not only do they feel they're a Super Bowl contender, they see the AFC as being gettable, and this, belief in Daniel Jones. Because if you trade away your next two first-round picks, that means you don't think you're going to be in the market for a quarterback. And you think Daniel Jones can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's a lot. And I think right now the Colts are the story of the AFC, and quite frankly, the Patriots are probably the story of the AFC. Bills and Chiefs, I don't want to say feel like old news, but they are not the story of what is going on this year.
I totally disagree. Are you kidding me? You saw that game on Sunday. That looked like an AFC title game preview.
Well, let's see.
You think the Colts, especially if that Colts are going to have a real challenge to get the number 1 seed. The Colts are going somewhere outdoors. They're winning in Buffalo. No way.
Are they going to Buffalo?
I mean, if
Buffalo
they
could be going to
advance-
them.
No, I don't think so. The Colts have one of the hardest schedules coming up, where the Buffalo again has super easy schedule, or New England.
Or New England, right?
Yeah, no, I think the Colts are going to have to go outside. It's almost impossible that unless they get the number 1 seed. I don't think they're going to. They have a tough schedule coming up. So they have. I'm looking. They're 8th. They have the 6th hardest schedule in the entire NFL: Seattle, San Francisco, Jags, Chiefs.
Okay, but here's
and
the
even
thing.
their bad teams, Texans and the Falcons. Like they're no rest for the Colts.
Okay, but here's the thing about how the Colts are built. I know you think they look like this real indoor team, and I'll give you that. They have an explosive offense, but it's really predicated on the run game. They have a run game and a great defense. And not to be so reductive and cliched, but isn't that what wins you games in the playoffs on the road? Like that,
They have 2
the
losses this
formula.
season. Guess where they were?
Well, one was in LA to the Rams. They should have won that game.
Yeah, and the other one was in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, on grass, outside. They're a different team outside. I mean, first of all, they're also predicated on that speed at wide receiver, opening things up for Jonathan Taylor. So, no, I don't think it's that simple.
888. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, indoor teams going outside in the playoffs. We know this. I tell you all the time, it's a bad formula.
888-710-4ISN. Quickly, we have a minute left. Can I get an update on what happened yesterday with the bug infestation in your kitchen? So
I got sawtooth grain beetles infested the Perloff household.
Yeah. So you had to take everything out of the cabinet.
Everything. It was like moving. It was the worst.
The
EJ,
fine
you've done this
china?
with-
You had to move the fine china?
With the china we got for our wedding and have not used once. Yes, we had to move that. Throw out all the food, everything.
You had to
It's
throw
gone.
out the food? Even the canned goods?
Canned goods we were allowed to keep, but we didn't want to.
You threw out canned goods just because there were some sawtooth grain beetles?
The larvae could live on the bottom of the canned goods. They're invisible.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So did you guys win, or did the sawtooth Beatles win or whatever the heck you have.
Well, they certainly died. We collected a lot of those.
That's unfortunate.
They're tiny. But he said he might have to come back in 3 weeks, which I said to my wife, I'm like, do we have to do this again? So
Just keep all the dishes out.
Yeah, don't go back. Don't put yourself back in there.
No, there's nowhere.
Yeah.
We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. There's nowhere to put the dishes. We had to put them back in, but we threw out a ton of stuff, which was good. It was a little Maria Cotto, free yourself of
Marie
stuff.
Kondo.
Who's Maria Cotto?
I don't know. Her sister.
Miguel Cotto's
Yeah,
wife?
I thought it was Miguel Cotto.
She's a
Oh, I think
featherweight.
yeah.
I think
Anyway.
Sydney Sweeney's playing her in a movie something.
I think she fights Clarissa Shields next week.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're bug free today. Ask me in 3
Hey,
weeks.
congrats. You're bug free.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys want to come over for dinner?
Not really.
No.
Okay.
Maybe in like 4 months.
Coming up, the college
Maybe.
football playoff rankings are out, but are they right? Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Get back to the trade deadline in just a moment. Dallas Cowboys made a huge move getting Quinnen Williams for the Jets. Traded away 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick. Jets weren't done there. Traded Sauce Gardner to the Colts for 2 first-round picks. And it was a fire sale in New York, but now the Colts obviously have planted their flag as a major Super Bowl contender, and they're 7-2, so you would understand why. And then for Dallas, I think this is more about next year. 3-5-1, going to be a very difficult hole to dig yourself out of, Pearl. Yeah. But Quinnen Williams is still young, still in his prime. So I think for Dallas, this is about next year and then the year after that. But we have not talked a lot about the college football playoff rankings that came out yesterday. So a couple that I was a little interested in. Number 1 is Ohio State, 2 Indiana, 3 Texas A&M, 4 Alabama. So these would be the first round buys if the playoffs were to start today. From there, you go to Georgia, has the 5th seed. They face off against Memphis as the 12th seed. That'd be the 5th highest ranked conference champion. An 8-9 matchup would be Oregon, Texas Tech. The 6-11 matchup would be Ole Miss and Virginia. And the 7-10 would be BYU and Notre Dame. Now, yesterday, you made your feelings very clear about Julian Sayan's Heisman campaign. You think it's built on a bed of leaves, like well, it's not sturdy. So I imagine you are not happy with Ohio State being 1 in this poll either.
Oh, I'm 100% happy.
Why? Wouldn't it be the same thing?
No, it's absolutely not the same thing. I'm saying that Julian Sayan doesn't deserve any Heisman love because he has Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and they still have Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. They're awesome. I know they haven't played anybody, but still, they're the best team. I have no doubt about that. It's just they're not the best team because of Julian Sayan. They're the best team because they have the best player in the country on offense and the best player in the country on defense.
Okay, well, I thought that, you were so happy, I think, because you thought they were going to really take strength of schedule into account this time with the college football playoff rankings.
Nobody's got it, though.
But they clearly didn't do that because...
Well, who did they not consider? Because there really aren't a lot of teams that have played hard teams that are not...
Texas A&M.
Well, A&M's 3.
I know, but shouldn't they be 1? They beat Notre Dame in South Bend. They
Early
just
season
beat
Notre
LSU.
Dame
well, Notre Dame is ranked 10th in this poll.
They beat LSU
and they beat LSU.
So what?
They have who has Ohio State beaten? Besides Texas, that first game, and Texas was dreadful in the beginning of the season.
At least but no, the A&M is the one with impressive wins, and all the SEC schools have some impressive wins. But there's no team that it's like Ohio State. Who could you pass Ohio State? You're saying A&M should have been number 1? That wouldn't really necessarily make sense. I would put Ohio State over A&M.
How about even Indiana, who went to Oregon and beat Oregon in Autzen Stadium? We're asking our great debate today. We do this every Wednesday, a debate loosely based on the news. And today we're asking what's the best home field and home court advantage. And the first call we got was from Oregon saying Autzen Stadium. And Indiana went in there and won. So that, to me, I thought that the top was a little bit odd because I think Ohio State, they are a really great team. But if we're doing this thing now on strength of schedule and we're actually trying to look a little bit more as opposed to the eye test, then I don't think they should have been 1. The other very interesting thing, obviously, is Texas was out, right?
They were first team out, yep.
First team out. Can Texas, who's coming off a big win over Vanderbilt, can they afford to be a 9-3 team and still get that last at-large bid, depending on how some things shake out?
I mean, there's going to be so many 2-loss SEC teams. That's the big problem for Texas. Are they going to go 6 deep with SEC? Probably. I would imagine that's possible. So we'll see how it pans out. I personally think, say they lose a close game to Georgia but beat A&M or vice versa.
Yeah.
I would put them in because I'm going to immediately take the Ohio State loss off in the beginning of the season. I won't even count that. That's the number 1 team in the country. It's early in the season. They have pretty much a brand new team because most of their teams in the NFL. I would not count that. If they can beat either A&M or Georgia, they're going to have a case.
Even if a close loss to A&M, but obviously you can't lose to both. That's not going to fly.
Yeah.
I wonder also from this, like Notre Dame is the 10th team in this college football playoff ranking. Does Notre Dame deserve to be that high yet? They had 2 losses, and they weren't bad losses at the beginning of the year. They were not. You lose to Miami on the road by, was it 3 points? You lose to Texas A&M at home by 1 point, but obviously A&M is super legit. But do they deserve to be this much higher than 2-loss Miami, who beat them, or Louisville, who then beat Miami?
Or how about even Texas, who beat Oklahoma and Vanderbilt? Notre Dame doesn't have any wins like that on their resume.
We're doing this thing with Notre Dame that they usually wait until the end of the year to do. And instead, they're just doing it right off the bat.
Why
which
waste
is
time?
gift wrapping them a place in the college football playoff. And I know, EJ, you got a big problem with that as a Miami Hurricanes fan. To see Notre Dame this high, what's Miami, 8 spots below Notre Dame, who they beat?
8 spots below, Notre Dame 10, Miami 18. And this may sound Miami homerism, but it's not really even about Miami. It's just about, do the games matter or do the games not matter? It does not make sense to have 2 teams with 2 losses and the team that beat the team that's number 10 is 8 spots behind them. It just doesn't make sense. And if they're doing this like they say they do this, which is just putting the best teams on there, not doing the power rankings of, you lost last week, so you got to drop X amount of spots. If you're just trying to judge the whole resume as is through 8 games in a season, it does not make sense to have Miami 8 spots below a team they beat.
How about this? If you're Louisville, you got to be like, what do we have to do?
Seriously.
They have a better record than Notre Dame. Louisville's 7-1. Better record and beat that Miami team that beat the Irish. Better record, better result against a common ranked opponent, and they are Louisville's 4 spots lower than Notre Dame. See, I was thinking about this, Pearl, with Notre Dame, and I don't know if people are going to call in to defend Notre Dame or whatever, and you're welcome to at 888-710-4ISN. And I know they're a polarizing program. People love them, love to hate them. I just want Notre Dame fans to acknowledge what's happening. Just like I want Dodger fans to acknowledge, like, you bought a World Series and then you bought a second one, okay? We're giving you the credit of the fact that you are winning and that you used a certain angle to win, okay? It doesn't mean anyone's taking the championship away from you, but you also can't get the praise of, and we're also the smartest and we're the grittiest and we're the toughest and we're the like, you don't get it all. And I just want the Notre Dame fans to acknowledge, like, you get the boost of the brand. And in a 12-team college football playoff, it's more stark than it ever was before.
Yeah, I mean, can you say the same thing about Alabama? They're not alone. Notre Dame's a good team. We know that. They have this early season blip thing going on where they're probably mistakenly scheduling too hard at the beginning of the season. They're just not themselves at the
Illinois last year.
They lost what?
Northern Illinois last year. They lost to what? Was it Marshall a couple years ago?
But the reality was, EJ, that was a good team last year. Riley Leonard was a good quarterback, good college quarterback.
But it's not. But I think it feels unfair though to say, well, they're just a prisoner of the schedule, which is always easy. Like it's the opposite actually.
It's easy after the first 2 weeks. They always have like the LSU or whatever in the first week.
Well,
but
as far as Alabama's concerned, do they get the same treatment as Notre Dame as far as brand?
Well, last year they didn't, but they usually do, I would think.
Well, listen, they start off the season lower than you could possibly be, right? Losing to Florida State and getting creamed by Florida State on the road. But to be fair to Alabama, they rebounded. You beat Georgia. You beat Vandy. You beat Mizzou. You beat Tennessee. These are all ranked teams, 4 in a row, and you vanquished them all.
And you had a new quarterback you were breaking in. So there is an argument there. You know what? One of the problems is, too, the schedule's layout. There are a lot of teams in here that have nobody left on their schedule. Ohio State has nobody left except for Michigan, who
They're ranked.
But come on, is this year they can beat Michigan, right? Ole Miss has a crazy easy schedule. Georgia has Georgia Tech, but I don't know how good Georgia Tech is, and Texas. There are a lot of teams
Georgia
that
Tech
are
is good, but that was a tough loss.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to knock out a lot of these teams here. So the teams that are outside looking in, you asked earlier, can Texas get in with 3 losses? It just feels like there's too many teams that have easy early schedules. It's going to be a gaudy top 12. Somebody good is going to get left out, 13, 14.
You know what ends up being a massive game this weekend?
What's
I
that?
think College Game Day is there, right? BYU and Texas
Yeah.
Tech. Because I'm wondering, are they going to let in 2 Big 12 teams?
But Texas Tech loses, they're out because they have 1 loss already.
That's true.
So it'd have to be
BYU's
BYU.
undefeated.
And you know who gets really high in the power rankings is Utah. People think Utah is a good team too. I don't think so. I think it'd be 1. I'm very curious. I love it because EJ is such an ACC stan.
Yeah, the ACC is
Like-
not faring well here.
Yeah, but
UVA is they would be the highest ranked conference champion. If the playoffs start today. They're the only ACC team in this 12.
right. And last year they let in SMU even after they lost the conference title game. So they got 2 teams in with Clemson.
Yep.
So maybe that formula falls again. But I think the SEC is too deep and it's going to steal those spots. So it could be 1 ACC team, whoever wins the conference title game, which I assume will be Virginia against somebody. How's Belichick doing in North Carolina?
They got a first win. His first Power 4 win the other day, didn't he? So
but that's why it's so. This is so disrespectful to the ACC because Alabama lost to a crappy ACC team. They lost to Florida State, who we now know stinks.
Yeah.
And they're number 4. There's basically no penalty for that.
But look
Notre
what they
Dame
did
lost to
since,
Miami.
though.
Right, but then you can't say, well, this is a whack conference, so therefore you guys don't get the spots that you deserve. But the team that lost the teams in this whack conference, and not even teams that are in the playoff. Miami and Florida State are not in the playoff, and these teams seem to have gotten like no penalty for that. It's like, oh, well, we think you're good, so therefore you get slotted back up. Meanwhile, again, Louisville, Virginia, credit to those teams. They've handled business. They deserve to be higher. Like, why are they being disrespected while the teams that are supposed to be the powerhouses are losing to what are ACC mid-teams, apparently?
Hey, EJ, I have a question. Right now there are 6 5-0 or 5-1 or 4-1 teams in the ACC. How do they do? Because this is huge. Who gets to the conference title game here? Even Duke has only 1 loss. How do they determine that? That's a massive tiebreaker because they're only going to take the conference winner probably.
I believe the way it works is if there are multiple teams, if there's not a tiebreaker where there's teams that play each other, I think they do the college football ranking. I think whoever's ranked higher is the 2 teams that get to play.
Because there's going to be
a scenario where
good team left out.
Yeah, there was actually a scenario where for Miami and some of these other teams, it actually made more sense to not make the ACC conference championship game because that way you don't take another loss to a good team. You just have if this is in the theory, if you have only 1 loss.
I was going to say, but technically they're not supposed to hold that against you. And to be fair, they didn't last year with the ACC, whereas Perloff mentioned they took SMU and Clemson, but they didn't do that with the Big 12.
Yeah, because Iowa
took the
State
champion.
went there and got destroyed by Arizona State, and they didn't even get a look.
Yep.
They were another team with 2 losses. It was just like, you're done.
Yep.
So I think that, SMU played a close game, so I think that gave them a chance. They were getting blown out at halftime. I wonder what happens if Clemson actually does boat race them in that second half. Maybe they don't get in. But that's the danger is if you go into that game and you just don't look anything like a college football playoff team and you're a team with ACC with 1 loss, you may say, well, we didn't play. We only have 1 loss, and we're only not there because of a technicality. It has nothing to do with anything with playing on this field. You're just deciding that the ranking decides who plays.
I got a solution.
What's that?
16 teams, baby.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Let's go.
Or the BCS.
Yeah, Manny, you didn't live through that. It's like you read about it in a textbook, and it sounded awesome. It wasn't great.
It wasn't that great.
We didn't like it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have liked it either.
You guys don't like this either.
No, we don't. We don't like anything.
Right now, the number 16 team in the country, not that it works exactly like that, Vanderbilt. If we could get Diego Pavia back in this thing, then that's a win-win.
I think we are seeing, like, college football, there's too much parity, I think, not to expand now.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Anybody can beat anybody.
It's funny, we were talking about to take this a little bit to all sports, like the Dodgers are always already talking three-peat, Pearl, and that might have been a little, tequila and whiskey and bourbon infused three-peat talk, but, they were pretty adamant about it at the parade, and three-peat this, three-peat that. We're talking about is like, what's the hardest sport now to three-peat in, or even back-to-back? Baseball, obviously. College football, though we'll see what happens with Ohio State. But college basketball has to be number 1, right? Like what UConn ended up doing, I think now looking at it, we're talking about parity and all of that, I think becomes more and more impressive.
God, I know. Yeah, It's really tricky right now. Like, how do you get an edge in the money world? I don't really have an answer. I think teams are figuring it out on the fly, and every year we learn a different lesson.
The college football playoff is eventually going to be what? How many teams do you think when it's all said and done?
68.
I was thinking that.
Everyone's
brain is going to be splinters, but
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be 64.
That's a lot.
I'm just kidding. No, I think 16 could hold. First of all, college football logistically, because they only play once a week, it's not as easy to expand as college basketball.
That's true. And also, like, how late in the season are we doing this here? Because you can't have the college football playoff national championship like the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
No.
The NFL is not going to go for that.
But, it's funny. The NFL is also talking about moving the Super Bowl back. Everything's moving back because there's so much money in live sports that
I know.
Make it last for more months.
Amazing when all of a sudden the Super Bowl is going to be like a spring event.
Yeah.
It's coming, guys. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, college football playoff. I know the Notre Dame fans are probably going to be in their feelings that I said they get a boost because of the brand. But, man, spot the lie there. And the NFL trade deadline was a frenzy because the Jets said, what do you got? We're taking whatever you got. We will sell you any of our players for draft picks. Okay, we'll break all that down next. Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. We're breaking down the first college football playoff ranking. I had a big debate about Jeremiah Love on the side yesterday.
What about it?
I think he's like one of the most exciting running backs I've seen in college as a pro prospect because he has, compared to Reggie Bush, but he's big. And someone pointed out Miami just completely shut him down, and then Texas A&M completely shut him down. So I wonder, is he just running over bad competition because that's what Notre Dame does? So that's the question. When he gets in the playoff and he plays the SEC teams, will he be as dominant? And that gets to the point. Does Notre Dame deserve to be in the playoff with 2 losses?
Yeah, or just even as high as they are at 10, and Miami being 8 spots below them, and Louisville being 4 spots below them. So Miami beat Notre Dame, Louisville beat Miami, ipso facto, and now also, they went and lost to Miami, Pearl, Notre Dame did earlier in the season, first game of the season. But now that Miami's dropped 2 of the last 3, does that loss even look like an air quotes good loss? Just like they lost to Texas A&M at home by a point. Okay, they had a botched field goal, right? Like a botched snap on the field goal. That's a fine loss. Okay, A&M could win it all this year. But does that Miami loss look a little bit worse now that Miami's lost 2 or 3?
Yeah, it definitely looks worse. And also, by the way, I'm not sure where A&M is going to end up after all this is said and done. Are you so convinced that they're the 3rd best team in the country? I am not.
I think A&M looks really good.
Yeah, that's high. That's very high, the 3rd best team. They don't really have, except for the Notre Dame win, I'm not sure where they've proven against good competition consistently. We'll see, because they're probably headed to the SEC title game, too.
So they play Mizzou this weekend, which is kind of interesting. I think they are a 7-point favorite in that game on the road. Then South Carolina, then Samford. And then, obviously, Texas in Austin to finish it out. Let's go to Mike, who's in South Bend. Mike, I'm sure you didn't like what I had to say about Notre Dame getting a red carpet to the college football playoff.
Hello, thanks for taking my call. I mean, I just wanted to say I tend to agree about, Notre Dame does tend to get a little bit of favoritism in the college football polls. But that's what I thought last year. I thought last year they should not have been ranked as high as they were, and they made it all the way to the college football championship. So even though it may be they're ranked a lot higher than you think, that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't turn around in the playoffs like they did last year.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Notre Dame's run last year. It was super impressive, Mike. Thank you for that. And, in a different iteration of college football, losing to Northern Illinois may have really permanently taken them out. But again, this is different, and Notre Dame is Notre Dame. But you beat Indiana in the first round, then you beat Georgia, then you beat Penn State. and then lost to Ohio State in a game that ended up being pretty close. Like, I can't quibble with anything that Notre Dame did last year. It was a great year.
Don't you think they could do it again this year? I do, absolutely. Why not? They have a great run game. Their quarterback looks fantastic, and their defense has picked it up.
But that's to EJ's point from before. Do the games matter? Like, yes, you can go eye test that they look like a good team, and maybe you trust them a lot more because of their run last year. But again, they do have 2 losses, and they lost to a team that's ranked 8 spots behind them.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see them in the playoff.
That's fair. Well, the networks do. You're saying no opponent.
No opponent. yeah.
The audience does.
Fans do, not opponents.
Chris is in Lexington. What's up, Chris?
Maggie and the gang, great show as always. Maggie, I'm going to tell you something. I'm one of the biggest Notre Dame fans in the world, growing up in Pittsburgh, Catholic kid. But I'm going to tell you something. I actually agree with you. And the boost from the brand, and I've been getting jabbed for this for years. And sometimes I fight back. Sometimes it's like, you know what, I really don't have a comeback. And I'm going to tell you something. I want to say shocked when I found out that we were in with the first one. But I'm going to tell you what, I would not have been upset if we weren't, because, and this is a question, Maggie, and this is the point I wanted to make.
Sure.
That I've been bringing up for years. You know, back in the day, I kind of understood their resistance to want to join a conference because we want to keep all these, classic games from 70 years ago, the service academies and USC and whatnot. But this is what my season has come down to, Maggie, every year. I look at the schedule, and I look at our potential games against ranked opponents. And depending on the outcome, because if you remember last year, if we don't win against Texas A&M, we're not in the college football playoff. I mean, we're not. And this year, when we lose to Texas A&M and Miami back-to-back, I'm like, you know what? I looked at that schedule, and I'm like, maybe USC might be ranked, and yes, they ended up being ranked, but are they really a good team? I don't think so. And you look at our final 4 weeks, there's not another ranked opponent that we're going to play. So if we don't get in, it's our own fault. And I think it is finally time for us to join a conference because we have no fallback plan if we don't take care of beating ranked teams. And it's getting frustrating as a Notre Dame fan. It really is.
Chris, thank you for the call and thank you for the honesty coming from a Notre Dame fan and someone who's diehard Notre Dame. Does everything have to be so black and white? Can Notre Dame join a conference, but maybe we protect 2 of the rivalries? Like, no disrespect to the service academies, but maybe you protect USC and you protect Stanford, right? Or maybe you protect Navy and USC, and you do get that traditional Notre Dame rivalry, but you also can join a conference. Maybe you can't protect everything.
Okay, wait, which conference?
Probably the ACC.
No, come on. If you're going to do Notre Dame, and if they really are going to fully join a conference, put them in the Big Ten. If we're doing a hypothetical,
fine, then put them in the Big Ten.
That'd be a big deal.
Okay.
The ACC, why is Notre Dame even in the ACC?
That's fine, and I think basketball would be obviously more than fine in the Big Ten. It doesn't matter. Big Ten, ACC, who cares?
Well, that's a huge. You don't think that's a big significant difference?
No, I think they would fit in either conference.
Well, no, I don't think they fit in the ACC. I think they would take the sport to 11 if they played Michigan and Ohio State every year. I think that would be just one of the biggest changes you could possibly have. ACC, they're already playing the ACC. It's kind of garbage. It's not going to make any difference ever.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for basketball. For basketball, you
football.
Could be an ACC, you could be in the Big Ten. I don't think it matters.
Oh, right. No, I'm saying if we're putting Notre Dame in a conference, then let's get them in the Big Ten where they belong, so they have regional rivalries.
Okay.
That would be a win for everybody. If they're just fully going to ACC and keep 2 service academies, then it's basically what we have now. You're not describing any kind of change.
There is also, I believe, Pitt is ranked.
Yes, right now they're ranked.
Okay,
we'll
so
see
that's
how long that lasts.
That's the
24.
last. That's the last chance. So the last 4 games for Notre Dame: Navy at 24th ranked Pittsburgh, if they're still ranked in November 15th. Syracuse, and then obviously the last game is at Stanford. All right, let's get to our big moment on campus.
You never know what you'll see during the college football weekend. Here is Maggie and Perloff's big moment on campus.
Hi, Pearl. Last week's BMOC was Lane Kiffin, who has actually won this title twice. Last week, he was calling out one of the Oklahoma players.
Coach Kiffin.
Quieter now than before.
Oh, are you talking a little bit to Oklahoma's players?
This guy yelled at me during the game 5 times how great they were, and we can't score on them.
So Lane is really 101, calling out a player in a post game. But that was last week's big moment on campus. This week, we actually go to the team that Lane beat, Oklahoma, where the kicker, Tate Sandell, caught the attention of Kirk Herbstreit.
Let the Volunteers know he's got his short shorts on. I guess that's no longer frowned upon in the sport.
Yeah, I guess not. It is with me, but
those are the shortest I've ever seen on a football field.
Should be
right?
No, that should be a penalty. Just dressing like that should be a penalty. What the hell is it?
Your big moment on campus is Tate Sandell, who hit 4 field goals. 3 of them were over 50 yards in this game, but he was doing it wearing Daisy Dukes, Pearl. They are the shortest shorts we've ever seen in college football.
Yeah, so and also they're illegal. Your pants and knee pads must cover the knees. Oh. So I don't know why he's allowed to get away with it. I'm maybe got a fine. I'm not even sure. So bizarre.
Fine a college kicker?
I'd find the program.
I mean, maybe he gets out of it by appealing on Riz.
Yeah, honestly, when I actually looked at the college football ranking, I'm like, yeah, Oklahoma did pretty good yesterday. Second team out. That's because they got a kicker who is just totally all in. This is like
it's a look, man.
This is their superpower right now, this kicker with short shorts. It felt, and it worked on Saturday.
Going to be honest, you missed an opportunity here. This was tailor-made for a Perloff Halloween costume.
Honestly, I've done short shorts before.
We know.
This was one of the most form-fitting pair of shorts I've ever seen in my entire life. I would be way too embarrassed to do that.
I don't know, dude. You wore some real short shorts.
That's debatable.
I'm going to call BS on that.
Do you see these shorts this guy's wearing?
I saw them.
Yeah, and guess what was not hanging out of the bottom of them like with yours?
Well, yeah, at least there was room. There was room for something to hang out. There was no room. I would have had to put it out to the world if I had worn those shorts.
I mean, this
was hanging.
This is an epidemic. Nobody has pants anymore in college football. Everybody's
shorter.
Nobody has knee pads. Everything ends before your knee. It's crazy.
You're supposed to get to the knee.
Yeah, nobody does.
Okay, you're back on the college basketball beat now, Bogues, because you're calling games for Fordham. Doing a little double duty.
Yeah, back-to-back doubles. I'm exhausted.
Fordham football and Fordham basketball. How short are the shorts on the Fordham Rams basketball team?
Nothing abnormally short that I can think of at the moment. Plus, there's a lot of people, men and women, that wear like the compression sleeves too underneath.
Yeah,
which throws off how short the shorts are. Yeah,
tights.
No, a lot of the women wear both compression sleeves and compression. Like their whole body is covered in lycra, basically.
Yeah, Bogush, next time you do some play-by-play, look at men's thighs and let us know where the short length goes to. Okay?
I'm always looking. I haven't noticed anything yet.
I love how
that's journalism right there.
Angel Reese and some of the other women's players, they just wear one leg. I think Arch Manning does that too. You just wear one leg of compression sleeve. It's just for the look.
The women's college basketball, you want to go deep dive, they made a whole string of uniform changes this year. They changed how wide your headband can be.
Okay.
Wider or narrower?
It is now wider. Your tights have to be the same color as your uniform so that...
Can't be two-toned?
Nope. So referees can tell like who's the ball went off of whom. And the big one, the women don't need to tuck their jerseys in anymore.
Really?
Yes.
Man, where are people going to be shaking their fists at that? Where's Colin Cowherd?
Where
That's
are
a no
standards.
That's a no backwards hat.
Damn it,
kind of
America.
thing.
So Maggie,
we're falling apart at the seams.
I'm going to ask you as a woman, which you like better, the baggy shorts era or the short shorts era on basketball players specifically? Like Earl Boykins, who was basically wearing a dress or something, like back in the day where the shorts
Allen
came down
Iverson,
to your ankles? Or do you like the trend of like Kelly Oubre, who's...
Yeah. Does it have to be so extreme either way? I just never understood with like the Fab Five and stuff like that, guys. And the Fab Five actually looks kind of quaint compared to what it got to. Yeah. With like, it was basically palazzo pants, if you guys are familiar with those.
Which I think are back in style off the basketball court right now, right? I keep seeing like young, like hipster guys with like really wide-legged pants.
Oh, like the jeans are
that's
back.
A thing.
But I always wondered how
did palestra pants?
You also have like, point guards who are trying to
dribble.
Yeah. Like how do you navigate the shorts?
That never stopped Kemba Walker, trust me.
I know, and I went to college during the baggy shorts era in the early 2000s, and I always thought, I know, Manny, it's okay. It's not that bad. But it was a baggy shorts era, and I always felt like, how do these point guards, we had a point guard at GW who was like 5'9".
What's his name? Go ahead.
TJ Thompson, Gaithersburg, Maryland. And he wore these insanely baggy shorts. And I'm like, you're not tall enough to... Anyway,
I just
battled TJ Ford one time, almost to a draw.
I just Googled baggy shorts, and there's a kid on St. Bonaventure.
The Bonaventure guy.
Oh, that was
that guy. He's the guy. Yeah.
And then there's a guy on the Bucks. I'm sure you guys know who is this?
Ray Allen.
Is it Rashad Jennings or is it Earl Boynton?
From back in the day.
back in 2003 or something. It's amazing. Oh, the short shorts were awesome.
But like, how do you describe that to your tailor? Because they're not like, that's not the,
Give me the swishy pants.
Right, but it's like, I need a size 28 waist, but also what's your inseam, 64? I don't understand.
Oh, man. Anyway, your big moment on campus, that belongs to Tate Sandell, who's wearing short shorts for the Oklahoma Sooners. But he's nailing 50-yarders, guys. I mean,
maybe that's why. I mean, maybe the shorter short enables him to swing his leg a little harder.
More freedom.
Honestly, it's a copycat league.
Sure.
More guys are going to start doing it. Bogues, you got the latest headlines for us.
And we finally got our Eastern Conference final preview last night. The Bulls and Sixers meeting in Chicago. The home team was down 24 shortly before halftime, but...
Near the midcourt stripe, off to the left, checked by Oubre. Under 10 seconds remaining in the game. Giddey drives left, hangs in the air, gives left corner, Vooch for three. Bullseye! Bullseye! Bulls take the lead! 3.2 seconds remaining, fourth quarter, and the Bulls have their first lead of the night.
I believe that's Chuck Swirsky on Bulls Radio. It was the only lead they needed. Nikola Vucevic, the go-ahead three, 113-111, the win for Chicago. So it's them who sit atop the conference this morning at 6-1. Josh Giddey, 29 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, becoming the first Bull since Michael Jordan in '89 to have back-to-back triple-doubles.
The Hornets guy?
R.J. Barrett and Scotty Barnes each scored 23. Their Raptors dumped the Bucks 123-100 for their third straight win.
Watch out.
And in Atlanta...
Bain can't hit. Johnson throwing it down. A Congo. Moss Bain, and Bain threw him down hard. Gay taking exception, and this is going to be looked at for a hostile act.
It was hostile enough for an ejection for Desmond Bain.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
Bain grabbed Onyeka Okongwu by
just
the
like Tom
arm.
Peter Schwartz is Bain.
Yeah, so Desmond pulled this dude down to the court to prevent the lay-in. The ball popped loose, and he spiked the ball down on the guy, a move I've never seen before. All in one motion, tackle and then spike. And that's why he got thrown out of this game.
It's like the game. What's that game where the
spike ball on the beach? Yeah, basically. Except instead of the net, it was a hawk on the ground.
Human being.
I never understand the rules of that game, nor this play that you're describing.
Yeah. I've been laughing at this all morning. This is Packers wideout Romeo Doubs discussing Tucker Kraft's torn ACL. It's a bad injury for Kraft. It's a bad break for the Green Bay offense. So Doubs should be bummed, but should he be this bummed?
Wouldn't wish that, just on, one of our captains or even just your worst enemy. I don't wish that on any man. And, Tucker is in a better place. But next question, please.
He's in a better place.
It's like Tom Brady's first dog.
Right. He didn't die.
We got to clone him.
The Packers are going to clone Tucker Kraft.
I mean,
the clone better get there soon.
He's in a better place right now. Green Bay Hospital.
Yeah, he's in a better place. He's in Milwaukee.
That's what the Jets fans are telling Quinn Williams today. He's in a better place.
Yeah,
He's in a
true.
better place.
My timeline yesterday was
Next
all
question.
NFL trade deadline, and does this guy know Tucker Kraft didn't die? That was somebody was like, does he know? I mean, does he know? I know. Does Romeo Doubs wear that big helmet?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he wears a big helmet with the Guardian cap.
Oh my God, that thing is amazing.
It's like, where's Tucker? Kenosha. He's in a better place.
He's in lacrosse, guys. Don't worry.
He's in a better place. He's out of his. At least he's not suffering.
I mean,
he's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin right now. Don't worry.
Don't you think he would have noticed if the tight end died? Like that would be a headline. that would have made.
Maybe he's like their season died. Maybe their Super Bowl hopes died. It's all right. Just go to this Tom Brady back biotech startup and they can revive him.
You know what they say, Fond
like
du
an
Lac.
extinct species.
You know what they say, Fond du Lac. It's a better place.
Last thing from me, the Minnesota Wild beat the Nashville Predators last night 3-2 in overtime on a goal that did not go into the net. The Nashville goalie knocked the net at a play trying to make a save. Marcus Johansson shot the rebound through where the net should have been.
Oh.
And they counted it since the goalie knocked the net free. And it did not make the Wild happy, but the Preds got the win.
I'm okay with that because guys would just start knocking the goal.
Yeah, no, that's the spirit of
Yeah.
the rule. If the defensive team does it,
Yeah,
they
you
can't be. It can't be
still
like a
have to
jet.
get to score.
And this is coming off a weekend where Saturday Night Live, I don't know if anyone saw it.
Yes.
Did a
Oh, my
rare
God.
NHL skit about and did a PSA for the Nashville Predators.
That's tough.
Where Miles Teller played a predator and it went wrong, and they had the wrong kind of predator. It was the most rare.
It was came out of nowhere.
Like, when does SNL do an NHL skit?
And he's a Philly guy, right? It's not even
He's a
like
Philly-
it must have been sitting like in the room somewhere, the writers' room somewhere, like, and he was okay. I'll do this one. Like,
And wait, did they have the rights to wear actual NHL jerseys on NBC like
they
that?
did.
They pitched it to
They
Bad Bunny
lost
and it
it.
didn't make the floor.
It was very funny. You have to see it, but
Yeah.
I don't want to share it because it's a little adult. It's a
yeah, the verb used was touched in a bad way.
Oh,
It-
predators touch.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, no, it literally took me about 90 seconds into the sketch. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing an NHL PSA out of nowhere?
Did the Rangers win?
Oh no, they didn't win last
All right,
night.
then what am I watching this replay for?
Well, that's on you.
Yeah.
Way to be paying attention to the show,
Seriously, Manny.
Meanwhile, I just feel like this Tom Brady headline should be like the headline of all headlines.
Do you think
Apparently,
it goes ahead of Romeo Dobbs thinking his tight end died? I mean, I think it's 1A and 1B.
According to our poll, Maggie not owning a microwave should actually be our headline.
I know. We put a poll question out.
Yeah.
What is weirder, Tom Brady getting his dog cloned or the fact that I don't own a microwave? And somehow me not owning a microwave is winning like 70%.
What, do you not have a crock pot either?
I gave it away.
Wait, is the crock pot dangerous?
No, but we just got one as a wedding gift and never used it. Meanwhile, now I'm in my soups era and I was
Yeah, how'd
regretting
you make
it.
that soup yesterday? It probably would have been easier in a crock pot, right, lady?
I know. Manny and I talk recipes a
But
lot.
you don't like hot plastic, so a crock, like if you cook in.
Yeah, no, it's not good for you. Microplastics, guys. Gotta watch out. Anyway, Tom Brady's cloning his dog.
Well, now we know
Like,
why. It's so
you think
dangerous.
I'm
because he has
weird?
a microwave. A microwave killed his first dog. What's the source of this?
Not Junie.
His dog's in a better place with Tucker Kraft.
Actually, there's no chance Tom Brady uses a microwave. He's even crazier than you are, Maggie.
Honestly, yeah, he is. But Tom Brady was so singularly focused on football. I bet it took 6 years before he realized he even had a dog. And now all of a sudden he
Or that
wants
his
to
dog
clone
died.
it.
Oh, come on. You buy all that. I mean, football players have 7 months off to do nothing. He knew he had a dog.
How about this? He said, this was his statement. He worked with this company. I don't even want to say their name because I don't want to give them any pub because this is like going to end up being Jurassic Park and we're all going to get eaten by T-Rexes because their goal is
EJ Stewart
reviving.
Cloning Foundation.
Their goal is to use genetic engineering and cloning with a goal of reviving extinct species. If this isn't the plot to Jurassic Park, I don't know what it is. But anyway, he worked with this company. This is his quote: leverage their non-invasive cloning technology through a simple blood drawn of our family's elderly dog before she passed away.
Right,
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
They should.
Maggie, if you're so convinced dinosaurs are going to take us out, then why don't you live a little, get a microwave, and save some time?
Put my head in it. Press power.
Microplastics.
Yeah. Maybe you just relax knowing that you are going to be prey for a velociraptor within 5 years.
Honestly, it's my number one fear of how I'm going to die.
Oh, my God.
Velociraptors?
Yeah, eaten by dinosaur.
You need to smoke some weed or something.
Or stop.
I'll never tell.
If you see the movie, you know, the velociraptor, if it looks you in the eye, that means there's one coming from the flank.
Clever girl.
Yeah.
This is.
Clever girl.
I saw Jurassic Park at a very impressionable age. I was 35. No, I was 10. And it really scared me.
Did it?
The one where the lawyer's on the toilet and then all of a sudden the T-Rex just kind of looks at him and then eats
Now,
him.
That's my biggest fear, dying on the toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, like Elvis?
Like Elvis.
I was thinking
Who's Elvis?
I was thinking Taiwan.
Elvis Gurabak.
Elvis
He's in a
Duberville
better
died?
place. He's in a better place, guys.
I was thinking Tywin Lannister, but
Oh, get the crossbow.
Oh, the crossbow.
he died on the toilet.
Right on the potty.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Game of Thrones content headed my way. There's a new show coming out.
Yeah.
Little Peter Dinklage?
Yeah,
No,
Dinklage got him out of here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But this is the other thing.
No,
This-
he sucked. He deserved to die.
Oh,
this company that Brady's working with, this biotech company that cloned his dog, is the same company that used cloning and gene editing to birth 3 dire wolf pups.
Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And by the way, You could actually bring it full circle. Tyrion, Tyquan Thornton, former Patriot, now with the Chiefs. Game of Thrones.
I thought you were going to somehow get to Tucker Kraft there.
Somehow Tucker Kraft's going to get mixed in there.
Well, you said, who's the guy who died?
Tyrion Lannister.
Tywin Lannister?
Tywin, yeah. That's a great NFL wide receiver name. That guy ran like a 4.2
Tywin.
Tywin Lannister?
Yeah.
What college would Tywin Lannister have gone to?
He definitely
SEC
went to
for
University
sure.
of Louisiana, and he just runs a blazing 40. I was actually thinking of Tyquan Thornton. That's
Yeah, well.
who had the ball in his hands.
Don't worry, they'll be cloning him soon, too. 888-710-4ISN. Lots more to do, including
cloning.
Including we're cloning the Maggie and Perloff show. Who was the biggest loser in the trade deadline yesterday? There is one answer and one answer only. 7P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff Show. All right, I've got one big loser at the NFL trade deadline, Pro. We've been talking a lot about the moves that were made yesterday and how impactful they could be for both the Colts to get Sauce Gardner. The Dallas Cowboys got Quinnen Williams. The Jets got all these draft picks back. Now they have 5 first-round draft picks for next year and the year after. But can I tell you the biggest loser, in my opinion?
Yeah.
It's the Raiders not trading Max Crosby.
Okay.
Look at what defensive impact players were going for yesterday. I mean, Sauce Gardner, 2 first-round picks, and he already has this massive contract. Quinnen Williams, a second pick next year, second-round pick, and a first-round pick the next year. Like, there was name the number when it came to defensive impact players yesterday, and why the Raiders are hanging on to Max Crosby when you clearly need more first-round picks to try to get a quarterback, to me, is beyond. And, you know, I was kind of like, excited about Tom Brady kind of getting involved with the Raiders, and I thought maybe he could make an impact. You were right. I was wrong. He's done nothing. If he was asleep at this trade deadline, then shame on them. They were sitting on a lottery ticket that they could have cashed in for probably 2 first-round picks, a first and a second at the very least, first, second, and a player. And for some reason, they sat on their hands. I mean, they trade Jacoby Myers. Okay. Sat on your hands for the rest of it. Max Crosby could have gotten and restarted the franchise, and they missed the opportunity.
But when? Like, what's your time frame? If you get rid of Max Crosby in his prime, like, when is this rebuild going to take effect?
Well, I mean, it's going to take a while here for the Raiders, Pearl. The Ashton Genty pick was a complete disaster because they're not even close to being ready to win. So they took a luxury pick, and Geno Smith just has not been good enough, and Pete Carroll is not having that magic, and all the things they bet on have come up snake eyes, to use a clunky Vegas, thing.
It.
But it's just, to me, you saw what the Jets did yesterday, right? The Jets are being hailed right now as a smart franchise because they realized they were going nowhere, and now they've got 5 first-round picks to restart the franchise. I'm not saying there were 5 first-round picks to be had, but with Max Crosby, you're losing with Max Crosby. You need to use him to restart and reload this franchise.
Yeah, but to me, Max Crosby shouldn't be in the conversation with Quinnen Williams or Sauce Gardner. Max Crosby is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
So you'd get even more.
Yeah, but they were. I don't think. First of all, I don't think they were going to get that much more than what Sauce Gardner got. I can't believe that. He's the one piece you build around there. I'm sorry, and almost as an ambassador, I know that's stupid. The fact that he wants to be on this godforsaken franchise right now, I mean, who's been losing for so long, that means a lot. I feel like if I'm going to look at a loser, it's the teams that didn't do anything. And one team that really stands out to me is the Kansas City Chiefs run game. End of the half, they're at the 1-yard line, and they have 3 plays to get the ball in the end zone. They don't even come close. They run, they lose a yard. Then Patrick Mahomes is running around trying to make a play. They could have had Breece Hall for a 3rd-round pick. Very rich for a running back, especially who doesn't have a long-term contract security. But come on, for immediate now, no team needed a new running back more than Kansas City Chiefs. Kareem Hunt has been effective, but he is older and slower. Isaiah Pacheco has a hurt knee, and he is slower anyway. That would have been such a game changer in the AFC. You're a Bills fan. If they had gotten Breece Hall, wouldn't you have been upset?
Oh, my God. I mean, my jaw was on the floor when Andy Reid kicked the field goal at the end of the half. I could not believe it, because I feel like in some ways they almost surrendered the game there, which is so odd to me. But they have so many weapons, and Andy Reid is so creative on offense. I know they don't want Patrick Mahomes being their leading rusher, which he was for most of the season, but I think they'll find a way.
Well, Breece Hall would have been a nice weapon in the pass game, too.
Yep.
As I understand, EJ, you're the Jets fan. Breece Hall has a high grade on his receiving skills as well.
Yep.
Can you imagine him in that offense?
Oh, he would have been extremely dangerous because he can hit the home run in terms of long runs. He's good out of the backfield. He's versatile. He's a very good player. And Chiefs not getting him, definitely a bad beat.
Yeah, and the Jets kind of said we're probably not going to build around him either. So he'll probably be out there at some point. I get it. Like, I am defending teams that held on to their draft picks, but that felt like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs not doing anything. Bills not doing anything. Ravens not doing more. They got, Draymond Jones.
I'm still on the Dolphins. Are they asleep over there? What's going on?
You think they should have traded way more?
I mean, Chubb and Waddle should not be on the team. What are we doing?
Especially after the coach got the job security.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a new GM now anyway.
I bet you the offers for Chubb were limited because of his health history. I bet you
definitely possible.
They probably wanted it first, and no one wanted to do that.
That's where we got to leave it for today. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan. Thank you to RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys and Judy Batista from NFL Network for joining us. Guido's Coffee Drinkers, you know who you are.